Hello, everyone. Let's flip this around. I should know just to start like that. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me. It's William here at Allegory Gallery. I hope you're having a great and awesome day. My day has been busy, full of making things. Um, we got exciting news today that we are actually going to be part of Squonkapalooza. So we've been talking about this a little bit off and on. Um, we are there. There is a cryptid from cryptozoic, cryptozoology. Um, there is a maybe little known, maybe well known. I don't know how well known it is. Creature called the squonk, and the squonk supposedly comes here from Pennsylvania. Um, and it is a poor, poor, poor little creature that is kind of pig-like. But its big trait is that it continuously cries because it's so sad about how unfortunate looking it is. So you can supposedly follow the trail of slimy tears to find them if you're hunting for them. Um, but anyway, there is now a festival in Johnstown that takes place. I think this is their third annual festival um, for Squonkapalooza in the name of the squonk. So at first, we were too late to get a table or a booth, and we just found out today that something opened up. So we're actually going to be inside, which I think that's a great thing on days where it is very, very hot. We're going to be inside, and we're going to be at table 7. So if you are in Johnstown and you want to come out and see Squonkapalooza, I hope you'll join us. Come visit us at table 7. It starts at 10 a.m. I think it goes from 10 till 6, 10 till 5 or 10, I think 10 till 6. Um, so it's most of the day on Saturday. There are a bunch of booths outside. There are a good number of tables on the inside. There are going to be presentations inside going on all day long. Um, People talking, giving talks, and about cryptozoology and cryptids. Um, there is going to be stuff also apparently happening on the rooftop of the building. They're going to have their rooftop deck set up, and there are going to be things going on there as well. So it looks like it's going to be a nice event. We're excited. We're happy that we're inside because weather-wise, you never know what's going to happen these days. So we'll be nice and secure inside, whether it's sunny, whether it's rainy, whether it's thunderstorming, whatever happens, we're going to be inside. I have been busy since we found out. We were planning to have a few things in the store, like Andrew's creatures, and I wanted to make some mugs and some totes. Um, but we weren't planning on having a lot. I was going to have a few things because we didn't know if anybody was going to come up to the store from down there or not. And we figured if people were coming up, they're probably coming up for the ornaments the most. And Andrew isn't home to make any more of those. So what we've got is what we've got. Well, today, once I found out we got in, I have been making, I maxed out the number of mugs I can make. I maxed out the number of totes I can make. I've done all of our totes, all of our mugs. I've done some dragons on them. I've done some of our green men on them. I've done, um, of course, Bigfoot. Um, I've done the jackalopes. Um, I don't actually have pictures of any squonks to put on mugs and totes, so I wasn't able to do that. I was going to take a picture of one and try and put it on a mug, but I just didn't have time for all that. So um, I did that, and oh, I made here. I'll show you if you didn't see. Um, where's the other one? Well, I lost one along the way, apparently. Ah, lost one along the way. But I'm making these cute little earrings um, of these mountain men that Andrew does. We don't always call them Bigfoot, um, but Andrew made up this design, and We usually do that in a larger pendant, and I might make some of those pendants. The pendants take an awfully long time to cut, so I'm making a bunch of these little pairs of earrings, and I think they're going to be pretty cute. Um, and if anybody out there wants a pair of these, I know some of y'all said you were interested in a pair. Um, we can make that happen too. We'll cut you out some while I'm cutting some. So I'm going to make those, and I might make some jackalope. I might make some of the jackalope little earrings like this too. These are bigger than our charm size pendants, but smaller than our regular pendants. But I think they make really good earring size things. So yeah, that's I've been working on that today. I have the laser going right now, cutting a bunch of those. I'm going to cut some other pendants between tonight and tomorrow morning and Friday night. So yeah, it's exciting. Let me see who's here. Kimberly says, just wanted to pop on and say hello. Thinking of you all, but I'm at the county fair watching my sons do their thing in the show ring. Nice. Starts at 6 p.m. Central Time. Nice. Norma says, have fun, Kimberly, and good luck to your sons. Hello, Norma, by the way. Suzanne is here, says, hello, everyone. Our AC is mostly fixed, and we're working on a plumbing issue. How's your day going? I hope everything's okay. What's the plumbing issue now? I didn't see anything about that. Let's see. Oops. Let's see. Oops. Let's see. Oops. Suzanne says, glad you got into the show. Thank you. Norma says, hi, William. Hi. Susie's here. Hello, Susie. Norma says, I grew up in PA, but never heard of the squonk. I know. I did not hear of the squonk until we moved here to Ligonier. So I don't know when the squonk was a thing, but I recently heard of it. Anne says, I didn't realize it had gotten so late. Good thing I get notifications. Hello, Anne. I know, my day has been flying by. I made some spaghetti, some elbow macaroni spaghetti sauce. My mom had gotten me some spaghetti and some Beyond Meat, burger meat. I have not had Beyond Meat in a while, other than we sometimes buy the actual burgers already made. So she had gotten us like the hamburger meat. And it's been a long time since I have fried up any kind of meat like that in the skillet. And it was really, really good. I guess it's another new formula for them, or an improved formula for them. And so I think it had a 4 in the corner. So I don't know if that means 4th generation. I don't know what that means. But it was really good in the spaghetti. So I made that, crumbled that up, or cooked it, crumbled it up, and added spices to it, of course, and then made spaghetti with that. And I had a little bit just before I went live because I was starting to feel a little bit hungry, and it hit the spot. I will tell you right now. So I hope I have some good energy here today. But I'm glad you're here, Anne. I'm glad you're getting the notifications. Anne says Squonkapalooza sounds like a lot of fun, or a fun event. I think it's going to be. I've never been to it before. We're generally busy with having the store open on weekends, you know. Even when we were here in Ligonier, we would always have the store open on weekends. And last year, we kind of didn't get things together enough to even apply to be in it. So we're really happy to have gotten in this year. And they said they love our stuff, and they're happy we got in too. So that's great. Suzanne says, I think the earrings are precious. Aren't they cool? I love them. They're just so cute. They're so cute. I thought that would be a cute idea. I'm going to try and make a good number of these because I have a feeling maybe people will like these. I don't know. We'll see. I know there's going to be a lot of stuff. That's the thing, is there's going to be a lot of stuff. There are a lot of booths there, and you never know, because we've never been to it before. I don't know what other people have. There's going to be some people who do comics. There are going to be people who do shirts. I saw pictures previously of people who do buttons and things. So we have no idea really what everyone's going to have, but I don't know. There might be people who do these already, but at least these are our own design. and we're not, we're not taking anybody else's artwork. We're using our own artwork, and I think they're super cute. So I'm gonna make that. Like I said, I think I'm gonna try and cut out some of the jackalope ones too, because those seem to be pretty popular. With our totes and our mugs, I would say probably the jackalope and the mountain man or the Bigfoot are our most popular designs for the most part. King Kitty is pretty well up there for people who like cats, but I didn't make that for this show. And the baby dragon is pretty. I did make some baby dragons and some larger dragons in the totes and mugs, and we'll see how they do. I don't know, but we'll find out. Um, but those I don't think work well as earrings. Maybe the dragons. The thing with all of these designs is that they are all very highly detailed designs. The big dragon takes a long time to print. Bigfoot takes a long time to print. The jackalope takes, I think, a little bit less, but takes a pretty long time to. And when I say print, I mean cut on the laser. And so I'm making, I think, 10 pair of earrings, and making those 10 pairs of earrings is 2.5 hours of cutting on the laser. And then I got to attach jump rings and ear wires and all that. But it's like 2.5 hours to get 10 pairs. So it does take a while. And we pay for our laser usage. There's a special membership plan. So we're on the fastest servers for the laser because it's internet connected. Our designs go up and come back. So it is supposedly the faster servers. So we are getting things the fastest we can, and it still takes 2.5 hours to do them. So I'll see how much I get done. But I definitely want to do the jackalopes because I think people will like those, and maybe some big dragons. I am assuming that people who like, I mean, cryptids. Would you call a dragon a cryptid? I don't know. I guess, right? It makes sense. Things you can't prove exist or existed, but I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if people want dragons, but people who are into that, like we're into that, I think would be into the dragons. Hello, Diane. Thank you for joining us tonight. Glad you're here. Susan is here with us as well. Hello, Susan. Amanda is here. Hello, hello. Thank you all for joining us. What's all up? I see Suzanne is taking care of some issues and having some issues. So what's everyone else up to? Vicky just joined us. Hello, Vicky. I think just joined us. Yeah, I think I'm caught up on comments. What's everyone up to? What's going on? Please like and share this video. Share it with your friends. It really does help. I can't stress that enough. If you are on Facebook, please share it with your friends on Facebook. Not only does it maybe we'll find some beady friends of yours, but it also convince the algorithms that we're worth pushing out more. If you are pushing us out, it might actually convince the algorithms to push us out more as well. And that's always, always useful. Suzanne says, the joy of having a 120-year-old house. I can't imagine. That's cute, right? That's nice, but I'm sure there are lots of things that come up that, whoops, what is it doing? It's trying to get me to comment. Whoa! And it says, doing stuff, chores. I made a lasagna to freeze, now I'm changing the sheets. So those things we have to do, right? Just have to do them. Diane says, I would be interested in a pair of the dragons for earrings. I wouldn't need the ear wires. Okay, I can see what I can do. If any of you are interested in that kind of stuff, I'll make it for you all. Just let me know. Just send me an email so I don't forget. I can flag the email because otherwise it's like here, it processes and then it goes out there later. But if you saw the dragon that I mean, right? If you saw the post we made today, Diane, the dragon is the, well, let me see. Do I have a picture of it? Let me look. Let me see if I have a picture of the dragon. All right, there it is. It would be this one. One moment, please, while it thinks. It would be that dragon. So those would be the dragon earrings. If you are interested in a pair of those, you can let me know. Dragon earrings. They're about. I have to see how big the dragon's going to be, um, because the dragon is wider, and I have to make sure weight-wise it's going to sit right. But this is about 1.5 inches tall, so the dragon is probably going to be about 1.5 inches tall as well, or maybe 1.5 inches long, and then whatever height that makes it. I don't want to make them too big because that's why. But um, they're light. You could wear the pendants in your ears, but I want them a nice size for earrings. Suzanne, Diane says yes, that one. Oh, good, thanks. Cinnamon is here, says Suzanne. She is shedding. Our cats are shedding like crazy. Somebody, the other day in the bathroom upstairs, I walked in, and at some point somebody had thrown up a cat hairball that was gigantic, like 2 of them that were big. They were like, I know, not to get graphic, but they were like this big. I honestly thought somebody went to the bathroom on the floor. I was like, oh my goodness. And here it was cat hair. So they've been shedding like crazy, and I don't know. I think it's because, I think their bodies like adapt to the weather. So when it's colder, they start shedding and replacing with, their thicker fur. And then when it's warmer, they start shedding and replace it with lighter. And I think because we have the air conditioning on a lot in the house and they're going outside, I think the temperature difference is throwing them for a little bit of a loop. Hello, Sandra. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you here. So if you could see my shirt right now, I'm wearing like this orange shirt, but it's mostly orange and black because I was cuddling with those cats before the live here, and my eyes are a little bit itchy because I was also face kissing them all. We were in like a little cuddle puddle on the kitchen floor, purring on each other earlier before the show. But yeah, I was going to ask if people's cats are shedding a lot, because I've also heard recently that sometimes the food they eat makes them shed more, and we did change up their food a little bit, and so I was wondering if it was just us or everybody, but it seems like a lot of you. Sandra says, my cat has been shedding a lot too. Sweet Pea's shedding a lot too. Oh my. So yeah, I think it's something, I don't know. I think it's because it's so hot and then we're in the air conditioner. Their bodies don't know what to do. At least that's what I'm hoping is the case. But also the girls, we've had them for, a little while, but kind of haven't been through a lot of cycles with them in kind of in summer, winter. They're only 2. So I don't really know like what they do, how much they shed, how much, all that kind of stuff. I'm just kind of learning that. And Barnaby's shedding a little bit, but not too bad. Gilbert's shedding a little bit, not too bad. But the girls, I feel like, are shedding just a lot. I don't feel like Tallulah is shedding a lot. She's the longer hair girl. But the shorty hairs, Gertie and Idabelle, are shedding quite a bit. Let's see here. Whoops. Okay. Nora was talking about did some napping because I didn't sleep well in this weather. Or haven't slept well. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday on the show, I think. How I have not been sleeping well either. And last night I turned on the air conditioner in the bedroom to cool it down. And then before bed, I turned the air way up to like 74. I think around 74. Because normally we keep it down at like 68, sometimes 70, and sometimes even lower than that. If Andrew's around, he likes it lower. And so I kicked it way up to about 74, and I actually slept better last night. Not perfectly, I still woke up here and there, but not every hour on the hour. Um, I also kind of, um, I didn't take all my vitamins and all the supplements that I've been taking. I often take them close to bedtime, and so I I decided to cut a lot of them out last night just to see if that helped. So I don't know what it was, but it was more temperate in the bedroom. It's not either cold or too hot, and I think that helped. Um, sometimes I forget, like, you can turn the air conditioner up. You don't have to always have it freezing cold, right? Because we have window units, and we usually set them and just kind of forget them most of the time, and we just, if it's too cold, we just turn them off. But you can actually, turn it up, make it a little warmer, and it works. So that's what I did, and I think it worked. Amanda slept terribly last night, even had the AC on pretty good. Um, yeah, I think my AC's been too cold is what's been the problem. So instead of just turning it up a little bit, I've been turning it off and putting the fan on, and then it gets too hot, and then I'm like in bed sweating, or nearly. And so I think I found, maybe, hopefully, knock on wood, a better temperature last night. Plus, the humidity kind of started to go away a little bit today. And I think that started happening last night. And while that may not affect in the house, it might, or the pressure just might be like getting to me. Because, I think we all react sinus wise and pressure wise to things like that too. Norma says, my cats are shedding and getting those long haired cat mats that are so awful to get out. Oh no. I we keep trying to watch Tallulah because she's our long haired cat. And she's the first long haired cat that Andrew and I have had together. And she's not super long. I would say she's more like medium hair. She's not like super long, but she's the longest, and she could definitely get matted up. So trying to be careful not to let that happen to her, trying to keep an eye on her. But she's really good at keeping herself groomed. And she's young, so that helps. I know as they get older, sometimes they have a harder time grooming themselves. That happened a little bit with Paolo and Babette as they weren't feeling good as they got sick and stuff. Paolo started to mat up a little bit because he didn't have the energy to reach his back a lot. So we're trying to keep an eye on Tallulah, though, to make sure that she doesn't get those, hopefully. We have one of those cat combs that supposedly busts through all that, and yet in a gentle way. Vicky says, yes, the heat makes sleeping difficult. I've been medicating lately. Yeah, sometimes I take sometimes valerian root to try to sleep. I also make a sleepy time tea. I also did not have my tea last night, so I took out a lot of stuff, and I'm going to slowly add stuff back in to see if I can, and if it was just the temperature more than anything. Melinda, hello Melinda, nice to see you. The key to cool is lower the humidity. Our new central system has a humidity control. We keep it around 40. Be surprised how comfortable 75 is with low humidity. I'm not surprised at all, because that is the whole thing. I think it was last summer here. The humidity was low, and I would go out running in like 80 to 85 degree weather, and didn't bother me. Now the humidity's up in the 70s and 80s, or more percentage, and it like 70 feels like, or 72, like I'm out there sweating. So I definitely get that, and that's why, for the most part, that's why I like the air conditioners, because it does take out the humidity in the air. I don't necessarily like it to be too cold in the house. I don't need it to be cold. I just want it to be comfortable. Like, I think right now, I set our window. We have a roll around air conditioner that goes. It has hoses that go out the window, because our windows are big windows, so the smaller window ones don't fit in there right. So we use this one in the dining room and kitchen, and it does the whole downstairs, really. And instead of turning it on cold, I finally, because someone here suggested it, I can't remember who, if it was Michelle or somebody, um, said to try and see if it has a dehumidifier setting, like just a reduced humidity setting instead of cold. And these ones don't. These little winds that I have here in the window, um, they don't do that, but that one does. And I set it to that, and I'm keeping the dining room around 75, and it's wonderfully nice. Like 75, low humidity down there, it's fine. I go into these rooms up here that these ones can't be controlled that way, and I have to fuss with the settings um, and um, figure them out because the rooms are smaller and there's one in each room, and we're trying to keep it. It's wild. Anyway, Sanders says, make sure you don't take B vitamins before bed. Only take them during the day. It's an energy vitamin. Yeah, B vitamins are not good during the sleepy time. I don't take a lot of B vitamins because they make me sometimes too anxious. I take enough that my body gets enough. I try to make sure that my body gets enough B vitamins, but I don't take a lot of extra B vitamins. I bought this supplement, which I forget what it's called now, that's supposed to be really good for your brain health, for memory, and for focus. And I wanted to try it, and I got it, and then I realized that it has B vitamins in it. So I've taken it once. I've taken, like, they suggest taking 2 pills a day. I've taken like 1 pill one day, and I could feel the jitteriness of it. It did help me focus a little bit. I was driving, and so the energy was okay, and it helped me focus on driving and on the road and all that. I felt more alert, but it was not great for my anxiety. So I have to try and find that supplement maybe without the addition of the B vitamins. I know a lot of those focus supplements, they either combine with caffeine or a B vitamin um, to make them work better, I guess. But when you have anxiety, the last thing you want is caffeine or an energy supplement of some sort, mostly. At least some people with anxiety, it really does affect. Norma says, all 3 of my cats are long-haired, and it's really hard to keep up with. Pepper especially gets mad at easily. I have the Furminator comb, but Pepper hates it and bites me when I try to use it. Aw. That's hard. Let's see here. Vicky says, I have nerve damage from a car accident years ago. I'll break out the meds if I'm in sufficient pain. Trying to get into a CBD chronic pain study at UC Health. Can't have it too cold. Yeah, I know some people who have issues like that, whether it's nerve damage or some people with like fibromyalgia and other things with nerve and chronic pain. And being too cold or too hot, it's very hard for them to find. Like, I think it's hard for me to find a temperature that's good. It's very difficult for them. And I'm glad you're trying to get into a CBD thing. That would be great if that would work out for you. I'm assuming you take CBD already, but I don't know what the study is about. But yeah, I know. I mean, I don't have that issue, thankfully. I'm grateful for that, but I can only imagine it must be difficult. So that's what's going on here. I went out with the cats today. We all went out, all 5 of us together again. They're really being good, which is good for my mental health. The boys, when it used to be mostly Paolo that would go out, and Babette started going out a little bit more too. And when we had them, I just was always so nervous about taking them out. And then when the boys came, Barnaby and Gilbert, anytime I would have 3 of them out, they would like all go separate ways in the yard. And it just made me like so anxious that one was going to be bad. Now, when I take the boys, like, I know Barnaby and Gilbert, Gilbert's mostly going to sit on the porch. He doesn't go very far most of the time. Barnaby, if he goes anywhere, he's probably going to go out to the catnip plant and eat some catnip, and then roll around in the driveway, which I can't see him rolling around in the driveway generally from where I sit with the girls, but I know he's there. I go and peek in on him, and um, they're just getting older. They're not as robust outside, and with it so hot, he does not like try to hunt moles or do any of that kind of thing when it's really hot outside. Um, Kind of when it's spring or fall, he does more of the mole hunting and stuff like that. When it's nicer out. In the summer, he just goes and rolls around and kind of walks around. And Gilbert does the same thing. He just kind of moseys around and lays in the sun a little bit. The girls, they had themselves panting today. They were out there running around, um, trying to just kind of play with each other, which was really cute. And thankfully, they are being good. I'm really thankful and grateful for that. They are going outside and they're running around, but they're staying within the kind of boundaries that I've been trying to help them set. Um, they don't go all the way up the sidewalks. They don't go all the way up the other sidewalk. They don't, go down or up into the neighbors' properties. And I kind of sit in one spot and they just kind of run back and forth. And Tallulah and Idabelle especially, they get running a little bit kind of full force, like the kind of running it's hard to do in the house. But they stop and they were running through the bushes today. We have a grapevine in our back porch, and there's like coneflower, like echinacea, and some of the wildflowers, the Pennsylvania wildflowers in there, and they were running through there and up onto the porch and then off the porch and back down in. And it was really cute. And I didn't have my phone because I wanted to go out without my phone and just kind of chill out with them. And I kind of wish I had it because they were really running around and being cute. But that's what we did in the morning today. Vicky says, I'm a weirdo, grew up in the 70s and 80s, didn't partake. CBD will be new for me. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think CBD might help you quite a bit, or could help you quite a bit. I never did all that either growing up. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, but I grew up with my father was an addict. And we saw what all that stuff can do. And I know for a fact that he started with marijuana. And so for a long, 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 long time, I was very, very opposed to it. And then the more, as it's come through today, and the more you learn how it was kind of, stigmatized a lot more than it should have been. At least that's what I believe. And you see the details on government things that happened with it and all that. It was what it was for him. But I also, part of me believes that if it were legal back then, he may have stopped at that. If it wasn't something that you were sneaking around to do, and it could have made him feel better, part of me believes he probably would have stopped at that. But it was kind of the sneaking around that I know he had to do that led to sneaking around and doing other things. But so I think that and CBD and the hemp stuff, I think it can all be very useful as long as you're careful with it and as long as you know yourself with it. And yeah, and I know for a fact that CBD has helped. It's helped my mom. It's helped me sometimes. It helps if I get a good, and I need to figure out. I had a CBD, and I liked it a lot, and it really helped my mood when I would take it. I didn't have much of it left because I think it was something my mom gave me, and so we had been using it for our cats when they were sick. It does help cats calm down. It can help with pain and upset stomachs and stuff like that in animals too. And my mom's dog was also taking seizures, and she almost completely stopped the seizures with CBD. Um, and so there was one brand that she had gotten that I never used for myself. I just used it for our animals. And one time I was really having, high anxiety, and I said, okay, I'm going to just try this. And when I did try it, it really balanced me out and it felt good. It also helped me sleep better and it helped with some pain. And so I think it can be very good. And if you do get into a study, that would be good. But I think CBD is one of those things that um, I would definitely give a try if I were you, um, because I've seen it work. Sometimes what are like miracles for some people. Not everyone reacts the same, um, but I've seen it work really well for people. I know personally it has helped with both pain and emotional mood. Um, my mom has helped with pain. She uses it as sometimes CBD ointment, and she's taken it internally too. But and it's worked really well for animals that we've had. So I think it's a good thing. Amanda says, a friend of the volunteers at the Toronto Cat Rescue gave me a t-shirt of the characters from Lord of the Rings' cat. It's so cute. That is cute. Super cute. Hello, Anna. Thanks for joining us. Suzanne says, I did get a tattoo colored in. Florian Cross, think Fireman Cross. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Is that a tattoo that you've had before and you didn't get it colored in before, or that you got with the intention of coloring it in? Or is it like an older one that you just decided to get colored in? Amanda says, is the CBD an oil? The stuff I used was an oil. And you have to be careful because you want to get it, from what I understand, you want to get CBD from somebody that tests it well, and produces it cleanly, because CBD, CBD and marijuana, all that hemp, the plant, the hemp plant, cannabis plant, it is a soil detoxification plant, I guess. So it really pulls up things from the soil and cleans the soil. So from what and this is all what I've understood. I could be wrong. They could have learned something new since then. But from what I understand, the plant really pulls impurities from the soil. So if it's not grown in a place that is done well or cleaned out well or has really rich, nutrient, good soil, if it's just thrown on top of just anywhere, because it will grow, I think, in a lot of places, because it is one of those plants that does clean out things. So it grows in it could grow in bad places, in bad soil. So whenever you are processing that oil, then you are processing whatever the plant has sucked up. So you want to get it in a place that grows it responsibly and produces it responsibly. It usually costs more, which is another reason I don't have it on hand all the time. And one of the reasons I haven't gotten another bottle of it is because it can be expensive. For the strength that I liked, that seemed to work for me, the strength versus cost ratio and the cleanliness of the oil, it can be higher. But I used an oil that you put under your tongue, a sublingual oil. You put it under your tongue for a little while and then you swallow it. Yeah. So Susan is here. Hello, Susan. Suzanne says, yes, it is just an outline before. Nice. Anna went over to YouTube. Thank you for being over there. Let's see. Norma says, oops. Whoa. Norma says, maybe I should try CBD to sleep. Marijuana always made me sleepy in high school. Were you doing it in high school, Norma? That's funny. I did not do it in high school. I was for a while on medical marijuana here in Pennsylvania because of my anxiety. I decided to try it. And it took me a long time to make that decision because still I have hangups with it. Um, it did help to a point, but the medical marijuana program is very, um, I feel like it's expensive. Because I've never bought it on the street, so I don't know what it is. But you had to pay for a license every year, and you had to go to the dispensaries. The dispensaries could set their prices. Um, it was not inexpensive to be in it, and I don't use it a lot. I'm not, I I think I'm very sensitive to it. So I can take like one or two puffs of it and be like, that's good for like the next 6 hours. Like it wasn't, it hit me hard. And so I had to be very careful because it also would could easily set off my anxiety and my um, paranoia actually. So for me, it was it was a good thing, and it was like that double-edged sword. I had to be very careful how much of it I used, and I had to be very um, I had to, I couldn't take it too often. And so at first I started just taking it to sleep because I was having a lot of anxiety in the evenings before bed. And I will say it did help me sleep. If I took it before I fell asleep and I didn't take too much that made me more anxious, it helped me. It knocked me out. It helped with pain a lot. It was very good for that. Um, but the other thing too is that if you have AFib issues, they talk about how marijuana can affect that. And I don't know if that is one of those could possibly might situations, or if there has been a lot of testing done to show that there's a relation. Um, but I read a few different places where they talked about how it could be detrimental to AFib specifically. And so that kind of solidified the decision for me to pretty much stop on that. Every once in a while, I will still have, um, they have canna drinks now, cannabis drinks instead of alcoholic drinks. Every once in a while, and they're legal. You can buy them, like we could buy them in our local shop. Every once in a while, I will have one of those, especially if I am with people who are drinking alcohol, because I would prefer to have that than alcohol. Because alcohol will definitely depress me for like a day or two after I drink it. And the cannabis ones, as long as I'm careful with them, because one can is way more than I need myself. So I can nurse a can all night long and get the same effect as drinking like a good bit of alcohol for me. Um, so I think it's really good that we're coming up with having these different things and having different choices now. But it's all it's always just like alcohol, just like smoking, just like anything. You have to know yourself, and you have to know where your limits are, and what feels good to you, and what sometimes feels like too much to you, and there is such a thing as too much good too in some of all this stuff. So um, that's yeah. Anyway, we're not a medical channel, y'all, so don't take my advice. But I'm happy to share my experiences. Um, let's see. Susan says, "Oops, hello to all my AGB fans." Hello, Susan. Um, let's see here. Cynthia's here. Says, "I had a CBD and it made me high. Didn't like it. I've never gotten high with CBD. Now, there are CBDs with various different kinds of THC in it. Um, and there are some that are very legal now. They make the THC from there's Delta 8 and Delta 9. One of them is not legal, one of them is. Um, they have to highly, highly, highly process it. It usually tastes like blah. And that's where I think the cannabis in the canna drinks comes from, but they're fruit flavored and they're better flavored. Um, but CBD, it shouldn't make anybody high. So I would check, Cynthia, if it actually had THC along with it, because there are legal ones that do. Um, or sometimes it's listed as I think Delta 9 or Delta 8 in CBD. Um, and so that is dangerous because people don't realize, they think they're taking CBD because that's the main thing that they show on the label, and then they'll have this little thing that says THC in there too. Um, but CBD shouldn't have any of the psychoreactant things in it if it's done just as CBD and from a good CBD supplier. Um, but I have heard horror stories of people who had things mostly because they're mixed and they didn't realize they were mixed. Because a lot of that is happening these days. It is very difficult, actually, around here anymore to find just CBD. I have gone to a number of places because I was looking for, because I said the CBD, I found that even by itself, even after I went through the medical marijuana and I went back to the CBD and tried it, and it helped chill me out. It just made my mood better. Um, and there was no high feeling. There was no, it just calmed me down. And that's what it's supposed to do. But um, I tried to find just a high quality, kind of high octane CBD, visiting various shops around here and places you think you should be able to get it, places you used to be able to get it, and nothing is available anymore in just CBD. It's all with some amount or some kind of THC or some variant of that. And yeah, so I would say just do be careful if you are ordering CBD or picking it up somewhere. Make sure you go to a site that is CBD only, or at least you're making sure that's all that's on the label or is the ingredient, because people I know have been tricked. And like I said, it's hard to find just CBD around by itself anymore. Um, Susan says, I can testify that CBD gummies help me with chronic pain control, which I don't usually discuss much. Yeah, I have never talked on here about my medical marijuana usage, simply because I don't know where everyone always stands on that. Some people are very against it, but I think when I have a feeling it might help someone to share my story, I'm more, I lean toward sharing the story. And I don't think there should be any stigma in either of those, CBD, marijuana at this point. um, I don't think there should be any stigma any more than drinking. um, if somebody's going to overdo it drinking and they're going to overdo it getting high all the time, then that might be leading to a problem, right? But I think, as far as my experience with them, um, you know I if I had done marijuana earlier in college, I probably would not have drunk as much, which probably would have been safer and probably would have been better for my body. Um, maybe smoking versus drinking, that's a whole thing too. But um, yeah, I don't talk about it a lot because they're still, I think, a stigma charged, and that comes with some of it. I don't personally have that anymore. If people talk about smoking or drinking, it's the same to me. It's just how you do it, and if you want to do it recreationally, that's fine. People should have all the fun they want, but be careful with it. Same things apply as if you were doing alcohol. Don't do too much. Don't get in a car. All that kind of stuff. Um, and so for me, they are about equal. They pretty much are equal. Um, and so I've been trying to open up a little bit about it more, but I know that it's not, some people really, they still have a thing against it. Um, but it really helped me. And it was very expensive for me to maintain the medical marijuana license. I hope they honestly do uh, make it legal here recreationally. Um, I feel that way, and I think it could help a lot of people. I think it has to be monitored, just like alcohol has to be monitored. I think it has to be, a lot has to be told to people because they could get in over their head in it. Um, it has to be something that's dealt with carefully, but I think I don't, like I said, If they're going to allow alcohol, I think they should allow that too. And for people who have chronic pain and people who have trouble sleeping, it's a much more natural way to help that and alleviate that if it works for you. It doesn't work for everybody, just like everything. It doesn't work for everybody. Drinking doesn't work for everybody either. Some people, can't drink or shouldn't drink. Some people get sick when they drink. Some people are alcoholics. So it's all knowing yourself. Amber says, yes, I do smoke marijuana or did it in high school. It mostly just made me sleepy. Never much got into it like some of my friends. I tried it like twice in college. And both times, I think I was so on edge when I tried it because I was remembering family history and what happened. It just did nothing. One time I remember it gave me the munchies. I was very hungry. I stopped at Sheetz and, got a lot of food. But I didn't feel high. I didn't feel any different way. I wasn't more giggly. I wasn't more, so I think it was just because I was so on edge about it. And I didn't really try a lot of it, even though now I know my tolerance is pretty low anyway. But yeah, I tried it then, but I wasn't ready for it at that time. I kind of wish I would have been a little bit more, because like I said, I did drink a lot in college. That was one of those things. We would go out dancing, and I was not afraid to put back a few drinks, which is very bad. But luckily, we were always, there were bus routes, and I could walk home if I needed to. So, or we would have designated drivers that would drive us to Eaton Park afterwards or stuff like that. So it was, but had I been able to do that more, that could have been a good change up, I think. Susan says, I'm afraid a cannabis drink would knock me on my butt. I have to be careful myself. The ones we get around here, and unfortunately, the shop that I got them from is now closing. But they were like either 5 milligrams or 10 milligrams per can. And I don't know what that equates to in people who actually smoke a lot. But I don't feel like that should be a lot. Like if you're going to put that in one can, I feel like 5 or 10 milligrams shouldn't be a lot. 10 is marked as being like supercharged. So maybe that's a lot. But if I drank a whole can of 5 in the time I would drink like a wine cooler or a beer, which I don't drink much beer, but like if I drank it like I would alcohol, I would be gone. Like I would be completely and probably hyper anxious. And that's one of the issues I think for me is that I think I'm very, I think my tolerance is low because my anxiety is high. I cannot have a lot of cannabis and just get that feel good, high feeling. Like I go into survival mode, like my heart beats faster, which scares me even more than I worry about my heart beating. And then I get super paranoid and super anxious. And at one point I had a gummy and I had done more than I thought I did. Apparently, everyone around me was fine, but I felt like all the blood left my extremities. I was literally shivering uncontrollably under a cover. It was summer. And I thought I was on the verge of being gone. Like it was just completely my anxiety. Because my anxiety was just like doubling up on itself. And now I know that feeling, you can lose that feeling, kind of people get that numbness in their extremities. But for me, that was like, I was worried about my whole health. Everything was going to go wrong. And so if I drank a whole can without spreading it over the course of like an hour or two, at least, I would not be good. I would not be good. I would be knocked on my butt, and I would be probably sitting in a corner, um, anxious as ever. Like, um, let's see here. Oh, we got a lot. Um, let's see here. Vicky says, "You know a lot, William." I try to learn about things. If I'm going to do something, I don't just jump into it. Like before I decided to get the medical marijuana license, I did a lot of research on things with anxiety and depression, and I really, went into it slow and went into it um, with knowledge. And so I try to do that. Melinda says CBD does not get one high. CBDG is fabulous for inflammation. That's the new one, right? CBDG um, is kind of the new thing. Is it CBDG or just CBG? Is there a CBG now? Or is it CBDG that I'm thinking of? It's fabulous for inflammation. I take it for fibromyalgia. I quit taking Lyrica and started low-dose THC and CBDG, and it works. Got mine from the drugstore. Melinda says, had lung cancer, so I take the gummies. My doctors are all aware of what I take. Yes, again, not a medical channel here, right? Not a medical channel. I'm sharing my personal experience. But yes, your doctor should know. Your doctor should know what you are taking if you decide to take any of this. Amanda says, it's been legal here for a few years. There's marijuana dispensaries on every street corner. The U of Ottawa has released studies linking marijuana use with a rise in schizophrenia. I've read that too. Um, there is a possible relation. Um, but from the studies I've read, the relation is for people who do it a lot, like a lot. And I don't know if that is the case in what study they released. Um, but I know that the studies I had read, the link between schizophrenia and marijuana was um, possible and um, with very high doses and long-term usage. Um, so moderate recreational usage or low dose usage for pain um, or mood stability. I had not up until, I kind of stopped reading a lot of this since I don't um, do it much anymore. Um, but at that point, this was a few years ago, the last thing I saw was that, yes, there was a rise in schizophrenia. There was a possible connection, but it was with usually super high dose users, and also because they're making the marijuana strains much, much more concentrated now and high powered now than it used to be in like the 70s when you would, just buy it from your local dealer. But they're making it super high potency now, and there is more of a link to that, or a possible link. Vicky says, everything is legal here in Colorado. I am watching the psilocybin industry and its use for anxiety. I am watching that too. I have had friends who have done clinical studies with that, and also on what do they call it? The low dose, the I forget what it's called, but and that and ketamine. I've had friends who have done the ketamine trials, and I will say, actually, every single one of them got benefits from it. Whether the benefits stayed around or didn't, that's to be seen, and in some cases was not seen, and in some cases was. But I'm very interested in all of that because I think those react with the brain differently, and there have been studies that show that the psilocybin reacts in your brain, and it can kind of like, I don't want to say explode pathways, but it can disrupt your normal day-to-day brain pathways and connections. Normally, they say what wires together fires together. And so when you get in a habit of thinking the same way, and if it's an anxious way of thinking or a depressed way of thinking, if that's part of your depression or part of your anxiety, um, it's hard to get out of that. You have to override those thought processes with better thoughts and better ways of thinking in order for your brain to start firing in better ways. And it takes concentrated effort to do that. Um, and so they're finding that some of these mushrooms and things um, can go in and kind of immediately blow that kind of out of the water, and in some ways help reset the way that your brain connects. Um, and so it's really interesting. And I've been keeping an eye on things. I have not done the mushrooms, I will say right away. I have not. I'm not opposed to it, but I also, we're very busy. And for some of that, knowing that I'm susceptible sometimes more than other people to things, I would want to set a lot of time aside, even if I tried a very low dose, just in case. And I don't really have the time, and I don't really have the, I'd have to be in a I'd have to feel really good in a safe environment for me, I think, to feel like that would be a good idea. Um, but I'm not, like, that's another thing that over time I've come to believe that I think these things could have very good uses for people. Amanda says, I'm not sure if these dispensaries also sell CBD. I know mine did. I could get 100% CBD in high concentrations through the medical marijuana program here. But once they legalize it, I know that, all these pop up, and a lot of times they just focus on the stuff that gets people high, because that's what the demand is for the most. Amanda says, a friend hurt her back and made marijuana brownies. She didn't know how much to have, and she was high for 3 days. Yeah, that can be a thing. That's the kind of dosage that would have me probably so paranoid and anxious that I couldn't function. That's not a good idea for me. Melinda says, you are correct, it's CBG. Yeah, I thought that was their CBG instead of CBD, and sometimes they mix them. CBG is a newer thing that they're coming out. I don't know if it's newer in general. It's just the thing that's starting to be focused on a little bit more, and it hits your brain in a different way, and it's supposed to be one of the new best things for pain and mood. So here you go. Hello, Susie. Melinda says, I had mushroom tea back in the 70s. I thought I was dying, locked myself in the bedroom, and told everyone to leave me alone. I can't even imagine. Like, I think, if I hadn't gone through what I went through with my family, I do believe I would have experimented more with these things in college. I really do. Yeah, I think I would have. And it might be good that I did have the experience. Like, I never think that it was good that what happened with my dad and all that. I learned a lot from it, and I'll take the stories and I'll take the knowledge, but it was not a good thing. It was not good at all. But it is, I think that I probably would not have done as well in college if I had not had that experience, because I probably would have gotten into more of this. And if I had no warning signs of anything, I don't know. I didn't know myself that well back then. And I wasn't as careful about things back then. And maybe that's good, maybe that's bad, I don't know. But I also was not as anxious. I was not a very anxious person. I mean, I guess I was in some ways, but not the kind of anxiety that I have now. I was much more easygoing. Things rolled off my back a little easier. And you know, I didn't have as much as I do now. And so it would have been interesting, I think, for me to have tried that stuff then. Um, but I didn't. And now that I'm an anxious person, and I'm trying, I hate even saying that because I'm trying to get out, I'm trying to talk about myself in a way that's less like that. Like I'm trying to, you know, put the words where I want to be, not where I am. And so I'm trying to believe I'm not an anxious person. I'm getting back to when I wasn't an anxious person. Um, but at this moment, I know that if I did stuff like that, it may not be great. So yeah, I think I could have that feeling that I felt like I was dying. Like I don't think I would see the beautiful colors and talking to the plants, and I think I would be like everything's trying to kill me and the world is dying and I am too. Um, yeah, that would be hard. Melinda says once my husband ate brownies and thought he was dying. I was 21, living 800 miles from home. I drove him to the ER and dropped him. Oh boy. Oh. Susie says you have to kind of be aware of the different strains of THC. Sativas will make me think the squirrels are working for the CIA. I generally like middle of the road hybrid. It's tricky. Yes, there's indica, there's sativa. Um, Indicas, I think, if I remember correctly, generally because I also mainly went with a lot of hybrids when I was doing it. But indicas, I think, are the ones they tell you to do when you're sleeping or you want sleepy time, and sativas are like the high energy daytime stuff. Um, I, like Susie, also did a lot of the hybrids I found when I was in the medical marijuana program because and and it seemed to be better for me. There was one sativa that I would take before I mowed the grass, um, and it just helped. Like it made grass mowing a pleasure. Like I have to say, it did make grass mowing um, easier to do, and didn't get me too wound up. And there were a few indicas that I would take that I knew were really good for me for bedtime, but mainly, for the most part, to keep away from my anxiety and paranoia and all that, I stuck with hybrids too, which are usually a blend of things. Um, let's see here. CBD never did much for me, says Susie. It, like I said, I didn't think it did, and then I tried it. Um, After I had stopped medical marijuana, I tried it, went back to CBD, and it was amazing how I was having a very anxious day, and it just stopped it. Like within 40 minutes of taking it, just it was gone. Um, and I really should have that in the house at all times for when I'm having or nearing what I feel like is a panic attack, because it probably could help. But I think if I were on it all the time, I don't know if it would work as well. Um, but it was good for like that sudden on kind of that high anxiety, and then getting rid of that. Um, have you ever tried EMDR therapy for anxiety? No. Is that the eye movement one? Um, they my friend was telling me about it, and I don't know if this is it, but it's an eye where they shine a dot and you try and follow the dot. I guess that's part of it, um, and it does something. Somehow it disrupts the 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 brain by following a dot. I don't understand how it works, but they said it worked amazingly well. Um, but it's not something you can do at home, from what I understand. Like you have to go somewhere and have it done, and that's just not like that's not possible for me all the time. Um, Nancy says yes. Yeah, yeah. It's so interesting what things work. Um, Indica is for sleep, sativa is for alert relaxation. Yeah, I don't know about always relaxation. It's for alert sometimes. It's all about the terpenes. That's what everyone says. It's all about the terpenes. There are these things called terpenes in it that some are like they smell like pine. Some of them smell like, you know, you could go into this stuff so deeply, um, and you know the one thing too about the medical marijuana program is that It was in no way medical. The biggest thing I found out is that if I found something I liked at a dispensary, there was no guarantee it was ever going to come back into stock the next time I needed it. So it was not like a prescription. You never knew from, I shopped for it like every maybe 2, 3 months. I was not a high volume user. Um, but um, I would find something that I was like, this worked so well. I can take this before bed. I know it's going to work. It's not going to make me anxious. And then I'd go to get it the next time. And sometimes I'd have to go 3 towns over to a different dispensary, or like there are 3 or 4 different dispensaries at least around this area. And sometimes none of them had what I needed, or what would have worked for me. So even if I started researching the terpenes, I started researching all this stuff, finding the ones, figuring out why this one works because it has this terpene, and then I could never get it again. And that really started to frustrate me, because as much as I like trying new things, I also know that if I got one that made me anxious, that was just wasting like anywhere from $60 to $100. Um, and I didn't have that kind of money to waste. So that was a part of the program too that I didn't care for. That's why I kind of wish it would just be recreational, and that would bring the price down for one, and you could try different things if you needed to, or there's a chance that you'd find companies that would supply the same thing over and over again. Um, Susan says, Melinda, in the past, my husband has greened out. Not fun for either of us. Yeah, that is not good. Nancy says, it does work. Actually, my therapist sent a YouTube video to guide me to do the EMDR on my own. Oh, well, please send that. Send me an email about that. I'd love to try that, actually. Anna says, I have used it for processing traumatic memories. That was another thing somebody did mention that it was good for. Nancy says, I have severe anxiety and being evaluated for lung transplant. I can't take meds. The MDR has been very helpful. Please send it to me. I would love, love, love. info@allegorygallery.com. I'd love whatever video is working for you. So he says, my pot doc has a poster that details each terpene, but I really mostly rely on my bud tender for their opinion. I've been lucky that the ones that are the best for me are usually available. Yeah, that's been a huge problem for me. Or was. I don't do that anymore because it became too expensive, and it wasn't something that I could fit in right now. But yeah. Anyway, that was an interesting talk today. I did not think we'd be getting into that, but I hope it helps somebody out there. If you're thinking about trying things, please do the research. CBD. Like I said, CBD, CBG should not get you high. That if it's done just as CBD or CBG, like Melinda said too. But a lot of them nowadays have even small amounts of THC. Even though you get them over the counter, there is THC that will knock you on your behind, and it's over the counter and it's legal. Because of the way they're processing it. So do be careful, because you could end up with a gummy or an oil that is wildly active, and you don't even realize that this stuff was legal, and it is. It's usually very highly processed because they have to take it from a different way from the plant, but it's in a way that it's not scheduled on the drug schedule. This way regular THC is. So you can get these over the counter. You can go to a smoke shop and you can get this stuff, and it's 100% legal, just like the can of drinks that we have here. They are 100% legal for people who aren't in the medical marijuana program. I can go out to the store and buy them right now. So you have to know what you're getting, because they are psychoactive. They will make you high. So be careful with that. The best thing to do if you want CBD or CBG is to go to a place, a lot of times online, or if you know a local company that does it, but online there are places that just sell CBD, and that should not give you any of the reacting, the high feeling, because that's used by a lot of people, and it is the way everything started, kind of over the counter. But now you can get over counter CBD with THC, and people don't know that, and it will make you very high, very high. Um, the one that actually had me shaking under the covers in the middle of summer because I thought my extremities were turning to ice, that was a legal one. So they're out there, and they're strong. So be careful. Anyway, let's take a look at some stuff. I've got some nice gemstones today. I found my box. I had a box of nice gemstones that disappeared for a long time, and I unearthed it while I was doing some cleaning. And so I've got some nice gemstones, some things maybe some of you haven't seen before, for sure, because it's been a long time since I had that box. And I've got some other stuff. So let's take a look. All right, I'm going to flip this around. And if you do have questions about any of this stuff that we've been talking about, and you want my opinion on it, please feel free to email us or chat me up on Facebook or whatever. We are not just bead people, right? We are all friends here. That's what we're about. And we help each other. That's what we do. So I don't want you ever to think that just because I talked about something in the live and the live is over, that you can't reach out about it. So if you do have questions, or if you want my opinion on anything, like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm certainly not a doctor. I don't make the money doctors make, for sure. And I don't have the knowledge they do, but I can give you my opinion, and I can give you my experience of anything we talk about, whether it's this or anxiety or depression, or, and I can only come at it from my point of view. But if that's something you're interested in, please always feel comfortable coming to me. Some of you do, and we have good conversations, but I don't want anyone feeling like they can't. We are more than people who sell stuff. We say the AG Bead family, the AG Bead fam, and that's because we consider it a family. And if people need one another, we are here for you. All right. So here's this cutie. If you want one of these, send me an email, and I'll put you down on the list, and I'll cut some out. I'm making these for Squonkapalooza in Johnstown. These are little earring size charms of the Bigfoot. This is Andrew's original design. He drew this in his idea book, and then we took a picture of it, and he digitized it, and then now we cut it on the laser. And so we have this available. I'm going to make I think I'm going to make some dragon ones. So let me show you again. This is what the dragon will look like. This is it on a mug. I also did mugs, and I did tote bags. This is the dragon on the mug. So if you want dragon ones, dragon earrings, I can try to do that for you. And then there's another one. The jackalope. And for those of you who've not seen the jackalope before, let me find that and what that will look like. Let me add that here. This is the jackalope. So I'm going to try and do the jackalope, I think, as a larger. We do the jackalope as a large pendant, and we also do it as a little charm, which is smaller than the ones I made here for the earrings. And those are on the online store, but I'm going to make it a little bit bigger for a bigger pair of earrings. So if you want any of those, please send me an email, info@allegorygallery.com. Let's see here. Anna says Bigfoot is fun, and dragon earrings should also be fun. Yeah, feel free. Just send me an email, Bigfoot earrings, dragon earrings, or jackalope earrings, info@allegorygallery.com, and I'll be happy to make you a pair as well. They're probably going to be like $10, $12. If you don't want if you just want the charms, like I'm probably going to sell these for about $12 or $14 a pair, um, in the at the show is what I'm thinking. But if you just want the charms to make your own, um, I'll do the charms for like $5 each. So, because I think that's what our little charms are right now. I can't remember. Maybe they're $4 each, but I'll do them for $5 each. So if you don't, if you want me to turn them into earrings for you, I think I have. I did this one in gold, but it's just because that's what I found for the picture. I think I'm going to have mostly silver ear wires. Um, so I can make you a pair of earrings, or I can just sell you the charms, whichever you want. Just let me know. But I'll do them for $5 each, no matter what. So $10 a pair. We'll do them at $10 a pair. If you want ear wires, I'll throw them in for you all. But they will, like at the show, I think I'm going to do $12 to $14 a pair. It's probably what I'm going to charge. And Amanda says you'll sell lots at the event. We'll see. I don't know what everyone else is going to have. There are a lot of vendors setting up, so I have no idea what everybody's going to have. And I was saying at the beginning, I'm making, um, I think I made 6 pairs of these. 5 to 6 pairs I have on the laser right now. No, maybe 10 pair. I think I'm making 10 pair. I hope I'm making 10 pair. It's taking 2.5 hours to cut out 10 pair on the laser. So we just found out that we actually got into this today. If I had known a little bit earlier, we'd have had more time to make some extra things. Unfortunately, I can't. I have the time that I have, so I'm going to make as many as I can, and hopefully I'll sell them all. That'll be nice. Okay. I have a request for some Bigfoot earrings. Thank you so much. Add that to my list. All right. Let's see here. Anna says, "Oh, you were on the wait list, right?" Yes, we were on the wait list. So we got a spot. Somebody bailed out today, and they contacted us to see if we could get in. That's why this is all like at the last minute. I'm doing everything here as much as we can, because I was going to do all this stuff for. I wasn't going to do these. I wasn't going to do as many mugs as I did. I wasn't going to do as many totes as I did today. Just because I didn't know if anybody would actually come up to the store from downtown. It's not that far, but it's far enough that, only the people that were actually seeing my posts on Facebook would know that we had certain things. So, the likelihood of a lot of people coming up from the festival to the store was low, very low. And now that we're going to be down at the festival, now I've got all these things I want to try to fill up the table with a bunch of stuff if I possibly can. So I'm trying hard. I've only got me. Andrew's not here. He was going to do some Bigfoot enameled or powder coated earrings, but he didn't get those done before he was able to leave, or able to get them done before he had to leave. So I'm making some wooden ones instead. Amanda says earrings like that are popular right now. I was looking on Etsy for guillotine earrings, and some of different cool earrings come up. Yeah, I think it's going to have to. I think I need to publish these a little bit more and get the word out, and maybe we'll sell more of these too. Anna says, "I'm glad you got in, even though it's a rush." Me too. I'm all for working with other groups in Johnstown. We always like doing that, so I'm excited that we got in. Okay. What do you want to start with today? I want to start with some beautiful gemstones. Let's start with some beautiful gemstones. And I'm going to try and give you the best prices we've done on these when I can, of course. This is an apatite strand. This was 60. I'm going to bring it down to 48. I've only got one. And It is these apatite cubes or rectangles, like rounded rectangles. They look like ice to me, like ice cubes. And it's beautiful apatite, all different kinds and varieties of apatite. So you've got the light blue, you've got kind of the green yellow, almost a yellow apatite, the light blue, the neon, back to some of the yellow, back to the dark green apatite, yellow, blues. It's just such a pretty strand, and it's already done up on sterling silver. One of these available. You can see this is 925 stamped. You can take this apart or you can wear it as is. If you take it apart, keep the sterling. Use that for something else. But this is available, was $60, best price ever, $48, one available, BCL1. If you'd like to purchase from this video, take down the lot number, BCL1 for example, put it in the subject line of an email, send that email to info@allegorygallery.com. That's how we always claim. Doesn't change. You can always claim from us that way. But this is a really beautiful strand and really unique shape. You do not see this shape very often. Where are my calipers? This is going to be an interesting show if I can't find my calipers. Where could they have possibly gone to? There they are, hiding behind my scissors where they're supposed to be. So these are approximately 5 millimeters, and they do vary in length. A lot of them are around 6.5, I would say. So one strand available, BCL1. Okay. I also, in this box, found a bunch of my papers, found a brand new Sharpie, found 2 pairs of my scissors, and a tape dispenser. So this box has been missing a while because a lot of this, I've been looking for all of our scissors for like months now. Months. Okay. This was $125. I'm going to bring it down to 92. That's as low as I can go right now on that. This is a tourmaline, faceted tourmaline strand. This is amazing. If you like tourmaline, these are very high quality stones. Like you can see that just putting that right there, bam, that high quality stone, you can tell, like you don't have to guess. Is that a nice tourmaline stone? Is that high quality? You don't have to think about it. You know, look at them. Faceted rondelles. Look at that indicolite. Whew. There's some transparency in those. Not a lot of opaqueness. Not a lot of inclusions. High-end tourmaline. All the way up to that yellow, brown kind of petro tourmaline. And it is one stunning strand. Look at that green. It's almost like emerald. It's so beautiful. These are about 5 millimeters. I'm just checking all the way down the line. Yeah, they are not graduated. They are 5 millimeter, and they were 125, bringing them down to 92. One strand available. It's 92 carats for anybody who cares about that. 92 carats. This one was 85 carats for the apatite. Look at those together. Ooh, don't they make you just want to grab them? Somebody grab them. No? Not yet? Okay, we'll keep trying. BCL3. This was 60. I will do, again, 48. Best price. Best friend price, as Andrew always says. Best friend price. We've just sold BCL2. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. That's going to help Andrew get back from, that's like one gas tank fill up to help him get back from North Carolina this weekend. So thank you. All right. What am I doing? BCL3 is Blue Moonstone or Rainbow Moonstone. And this is a delightful strand of very high quality blue moonstone. Look at those flashes of light and color. Like that's red there, like not even just blue. Um, but these are magnificent beads, faceted rondelles of blue moonstone or rainbow moonstone. They feel like they're slightly graduated, I think. So let me check that out to check for you all. Look at those. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, these are definitely graduated. Um, Anne says, I really appreciate the stone strands that are already strung with the sterling chain and clasp. Even though I restring them, I have a nice clasp at the ready. Yeah, it's if you restring it, it's already there for you, ready to go, like Anne said. Or if you want to put your own spin on it, you can change it up, and you still have one to put in your stash for later. Look at these. Um, I forgot how nice these strands are. That's why I'm like, wow, look at these. I'm genuinely excited myself because I forgot we even had these. I know it's hard. Like, how do you forget when you have as much stuff as we have? Beautiful things like this sometimes slip through for a while until they're uncovered again. So um, this is like genuine excitement because I haven't seen these probably since maybe the beginning of the year. Some of these may have been from last year. Um, so there you go. They start at about 3 millimeters, and these graduate up to, it looks like the biggest ones on here are just about 7, 6.5, 7. So they double in size. Blue Moonstone, Rainbow Moonstone, BCL3, one strand available. Oh, somebody tried to grab 2. Sorry, 2 is already sold. Gotta be fast. Get the ones you want. 2 is already sold. Sorry about that. I wish I had another, but I do not. I do not. So if you just sent in a request for 2, you probably did not get it. If you'd like to know, I never shout it out unless you ask. So feel free to ask, and I will let you know if you got it. Let's see here. This is, for those of you who like black spinel, this was $32. I'm going to drop it. Let me see. What have we done before? I'm going to drop it down to 25. $25. BCL4. This is black spinel faceted drops. I love these. These are one of those things that are super pretty for earrings. Like just take a few of them like that and string them up, and you've already got yourself a nice pair of earrings. Or if you wire wrap them to a chain, each one to a separate chain, and drop those chains at different lengths from your ear wire and make a little, almost like a tassel, but it's just made out of chain and drops. And then these dangle at different lengths. They look really, really pretty. These are very hard to size. They are about 5.5 by 5.5 millimeters. 5.5 by 5.5 millimeters. And this strand is a 6-inch strand. 6 inches. Not counting the tassels, of course. When we give you the size of a strand, it's only the size of the beads on the strand. Just so you know. We're not trying to fool you here. I need to look this up because our vendor uses a name on these, and I always forget. Andrew remembers, but I always forget. Huh. Come on. Yeah, I don't know. They call it a quartz. And, oops, I flipped. One moment, everybody. There we go. And they call it like crazy quartz or something. But I always forget the name of it. Sorry, I'm going to forget the name. It's really pretty. Let's see. This is BCL5. And normally we have it at 36. I will drop it down to 30. I'll drop it down to 30 for everybody. And it is this kind of tangerine. It's like a tangerine quartz. These are these faceted drops. And it's super pretty. Like there's pineapple quartz. There's like strawberry quartz. It's more pink. This is definitely an orangey quartz. And it's pretty rare, I think. And this is a really cool shape that it's done in. And these are faceted drops. And they are approximately 10.5 by 10.5. BCL5. Let me move these over. These are still available. BCL1, BCL3, BCL4, and BCL5. So far, the only one that's sold and tried to sell twice is BCL2. Okay. BCL6. Now, these totally forgot we had. They are amazing. This is, I'm going to show you both strands because there are two and they are very different. So you can pick the one you want. I'm not going to give them separate, but when you send the email, just say if you want the longer drop or the shorter drop. These are normally 36 as well, and I will drop them down to 30. And here's the longer drop. This is Tiger Eye, but it's a really high-end Tiger Eye. And I love this kind of, it almost looks like a sail or a shark fin. But look at how beautiful that is. If you've got some like plain Tiger Eye rounds, and by plain, just normal, these might be a nice way to accentuate those with something a little special. The nice thing about this is you rarely see Tiger Eye taking the time to be cut into anything special. And Tiger Eye is really a beautiful stone, but I think it doesn't get a bad rap. It just doesn't become more special because nobody takes the time to make it like that. But it's really like, look how beautiful these are. And they're such a cool shape. Like it really uplifts tiger eye. And you don't see that. It's hard to come by tiger eye. No one takes the time to, or seems to take the time to do it. When we saw these, we had to have them. And so those tiger eye drops would make gorgeous earrings. That shape is so cool, right? And so these are approximately 17.8 by 11.8. That's the longer drops. And then if you want BCL6, the shorter drops, it's these. So just let me know which one you prefer if you order them. These are the shorter ones, and they are equally beautiful, but just a very different style. They are all faceted drops, and this is about 16.5 by 17.5. So those are the two different tiger eye. Let me actually put some of this away because I'm running out of room. It's BCL1 is going away. That's the apatite. I think it's very pretty. It's one of my favorite strands of the whole night. Of course, this one is the blue moonstone or rainbow moonstone, the black spinel, this beautiful tangerine quartz, and then the two different tiger eyes. I'm going to put the blue moonstone away. One last chance to get a good look at that and the sparkle and shine that it has, and flash. Don't forget the word flash, right? Okay. Okay. I'm going to also put this away, the black spinel. I pull this out because I know some of you sometimes go wild for black spinel. So every time I see it, if it's something new or something we haven't shown in a while, I like to show it just to make sure nobody wants that last one of those, right? All right. So these are the two tiger eye. I have them both out here. Long drops and short drops if you want one of those. Sue says, I'm not big on the colored orange, but that tangerine quartz is cool. Isn't it? I just love it. I do love orange, though. Like, it's one of my favorite colors. And to see it actually in quartz like that is super dang cool, I think. Because you see a lot of red. What's that called when it's the red quartz? Starts with an R, I think, which I can't think of right now. And you see the pink, like the strawberry quartz, and you see sometimes yellow, the pineapple quartz, but orange? How cool. Okay. This is BCL7. These were 30 a strand. I'm going to bring them down to 25. If these were not dyed, these are dyed rubies. They start out with a good ruby to begin with, but they are dyed. And we always say there's nothing wrong with a dyed stone if you know. But these are exceptional. They look beautiful. If they were not dyed, if they were natural like this, these would be very, very expensive. But because they are dyed, you're getting them for $25 a strand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 13 of them available. And they are beautiful dyed ruby rounds. Gorgeous rubies, small rounds, but look at the color. They did a really good job with these. I don't know how much dye is actually in them, and how much is the natural stone, um, because they're a really good color for a ruby. But they came to us saying that they're dyed, so we passed that along. But they are really ruby color, and they are beautiful little stones. We've sold a number of these when we first got them in. They're 3 millimeters. They're $25 a strand now, down from 30. Um, as you can see, they were $30 each. Dyed rubies, 13 strands available. Okay. BCL8. Let's see what I can fish up here. Oh, y'all. I know that you all like the granditerite that we had, and the granditerite that we had disappeared, and it's now making a comeback because I found it. Granditerite is one that is oftentimes not inexpensive. I think our prices on it have been some of the best for the quality that is out there. Um, these are normally $60 a strand, and I will do them for $45 a strand. There are 3 of them available. This is granditerite, which is it became a kind of newish thing. It started seeing a lot of it here and there, but this is really high quality granditerite, and it's such an amazing stone. It's so beautiful. And you get this multicolor, these beautiful strands of this kind of tealy, beautiful stone. And these are approximately 4 millimeter smooth rondelles. $60 originally, down to $45. 3 strands available. Granditerite. BCL 8. All right, let me move the quartz off of here. One last look at those before they go. And I'm going to remove the tiger eye as well. 2 strands of the tiger eye available, $30 each. Good. Sanders's granditerite is a rare one, right? And I think we have good prices for the stone quality. This is really nice stone quality in the granditerite, from what I've seen anyway. What I've seen out there. Look at these two together too. Just rubies and granditerite. Ooh, ooh. It makes me want to make something with that. They're like so juicy together. So juicy. All right. Moving on. Let's see. What do I got in my arsenal here next? How about some Petro tourmaline? BCL9. Y'all like the Petro tourmaline? It's one of my favorite tourmalines. Sandra says, and it's expensive. It's normally double that price. See? Sandra will tell you. She knows. She deals with these stones in her business, right? Yeah. Thank you for saying it. It's true. It's normally a very expensive, and we got a really good deal from our vendor on it. Our vendors love us, and we love them, and we take care of each other, and that's why we get good deals for all of you. You take care of us, we can take care of our vendors, they can take care of all of us. Um, I'm going to bring this down to 60. Um, can I do it at 60? Let me see. Okay, I'll do it at 60. $60. $60. Petrotourmalines. We've sold one of the 8s. Thank you so much. I still have 2 left if you want to get in on that good price. Somebody's jumping at it. Somebody's jumping at it. This is petrotourmaline. Petrotourmaline is the tourmaline that has this lovely, almost whiskey and dark whiskey, almost root beer color. You blend in a little bit of that orange in there. It's such a pretty, pretty stone. And it's tourmaline. You throw a little bit of the green in there. Just makes that, breaks that up a little bit. Petrotourmaline. We used to have a few big chunks of petrotourmaline, and those have all sold out a long time ago. But this is just stunning. And it comes on the sterling silver chain and lobster claw. And look at the quality again, just like the number 2, that other tourmaline. The quality of these stones is unbeatable at this price. Just super high end petrotourmaline, and this strand is about 3.5 to 4 millimeters on the stones. 3.5 to 4 millimeters on the stones, and super beautiful. Petrotourmaline is one of my favorite tourmalines. I love, like, it just is fall. It looks like fall, and it's got those fall colors. And the other thing is too is, we are all about, doesn't matter what gender, doesn't matter, what you want to wear, but some people are stuck on certain things, right? And in a lot of the world, it's easier to sell these kind of colors to guys rather than, bright colors. So if you're making men's jewelry and you're doing it at a show, these are kind of those colors. You say whiskey color, you say whiskey to, like, that's your whiskey, that's your bourbon color. Um, it's an easier sell sometimes. It just is. Um, I long for the day when that's not always the case, but it's especially still true. So if you do men's jewelry, that is a very nice stone to use, the petrotourmaline. All right. I'm going to try one more Tiger Eye BCL10, even though the other ones didn't sell. What did I price the other ones at? 36 down to 30. I'll take this. The lowest we ever did this one before was 32, but I'll take it down to 30 just this once, like the others, and see if anybody wants it, because it is beautiful too. All right, these are stunning long Tiger Eye drops. Really high quality Tiger Eye is what they start with. Again, this is a lot of stuff here that's great for men's jewelry. And like I said, I always hate to be the one that tries to say this should be for men, this should be for women, because I think everything is 100% or nearly 100% switchable, right? And you shouldn't matter. But a lot of people it still matters to. And these colors are great for men's jewelry and stones too. We sell probably more Tiger Eye stretch bracelets to men than anybody else in the store. And that's about 26 millimeters by about 11 and a half. There we go. BCL 11. Who's all out there? It's gotten quiet. We had all that talking before, and now it's gone quiet. If you're still out there, say hi. Let me know. All right. Let's put the rubies away. Center says, what is 9? 9 is the petrotourmaline. Petro, petro, like petroleum. Petrotourmaline. I'll show you again, Sanders, because I know you like these kind of stones. This is the petrotourmaline. Beautiful. Anna's here. Hello, Anna. Thank you for being here still with us. So there's that. All right, the dyed rubies, we're putting those away. I'm going to put the BCL8 away. That's the grandidierite. We've sold one of those. If you're into that, grab those before they're gone. I've only got 2 strands of those left. And that's it. That's all the stock we have on those. And the next time we get it, I don't know what the price is going to be. I can't always guarantee that we'll get things at the same price. That's the thing. That's the thing. And sometimes our vendor doesn't have stuff anymore. Okay. Let me move the petrotourmaline down. BCL9 and BCL10 is the tiger eye. What do I have in here? All right. Next up. Okay. Next up are tourmaline smooth rounds. And we had those at 24 per strand. I'm going to bring them down to, I can do 18 for you all. And, oops, I have 5 of these available. $18 only, really high quality tourmaline smooth rounds. $18 is an exceptional price for the clarity of these stones, the quality. Those are like AA. These are really nice stones, if not AAA. Beautiful stones. And these are 2.5 millimeters. 2.5 millimeter stones. 5 strands available. BCL 11. And then I have some that are slightly larger. If you're looking for different sizes in those, BCL 12. And oops, what just happened? Oh boy, lost the paper. Well, let's see. I'll probably find it later. Well, oh, there it is. I was sitting on it. There it is. Let's see here. You know what? I'm gonna just do them at the same price. BCL 12. You can mix them with the other strands if you want to. Still very high quality tourmaline, natural tourmaline, not dyed in any way, natural tourmaline stones. And these ones are 3.5. So we have 2.5 and 3.5 millimeter tourmaline, both the same price. Here you can see them. Beautiful stones. 2 strands of the larger ones, 5 strands of the smaller available, $18 a strand. And then I just dropped the other strands. Okay, now we're going to move away from some gemstones. I have a lot more, but I'm going to move away from some of the gemstones a little bit and take a look at some other things for a little while. Give you all a break, just a little break, right? Sometimes that helps. When you're looking at a bunch of pretty things all in a row, sometimes that wears you out a little bit, right? Let's see, what do I have in here? These are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful crystals. They're vintage crystals. BCL 13. And let's see, we had these at 24. I'll do them at 18. I've got 2 strands available. Oh, those tourmaline keep falling off. They want to go home with somebody. Somebody take them home. Somebody take the tourmaline. Okay. BCL 13. Whoa! Is this beautiful crystal. This is a big crystal strand. Vintage crystal. It is a 16-inch strand of big, beautiful vintage crystal. Look at how pretty that is. Like, this is done up on wire. Like, they don't put stuff on wire like that anymore. So you know it's a vintage strand. And they are big. They're not that big. I mean, they're big, but they're big and beautiful is what they are. And they're colorful. And size-wise on these drops are about 10.5 by 6.5. 10.5 by 6.5. And that's a lot of crystal for $18. Like, I'm not going to count how many are on there, but that's a lot of crystal. That's 16 inches of crystal and good quality vintage crystal. $18 for the strand, 2 strands available. One thing I didn't do today is check my junk mail, so I'm going to check my junk mail. Let's see here. Looks like we're good there. Okay. I'm going to put Petro Tourmaline away. BCL 9. Going to put the Tiger Eye away. BCL 10. And I'm going to move BCL 11. BCL 12 over. We just sold one of the 13s. Thank you so much. We've got one still available. BCL 14. I'm just going to do this at $14. I feel like we've been doing some of our vintage pearls, a lot of them at $14 lately. So $14 is a vintage strand of freshwater pearls. and it's in this pretty kind of gold, coppery, but mahogany almost color. There's like this mahogany color to these, which I love. Stunningly beautiful freshwater pearls, vintage strand. One strand available. Look at how beautiful those are. And these pearls are approximately 6.5 millimeters. And the strand, I'll get it on my ruler over here, is a 16-inch strand. 16-inch strand. Beautiful. Sandra says, did you get my request for 9? My email is acting funny. Let me look. Let me refresh mine here. Oh, there it popped up. Thank you so much. Totally. That's weird. Emails have been weird lately. I don't know what's going on. BCL 15. Now this is a cool piece of lampwork glass. We had it at 25. I'm going to bring it down to 22. I don't want to go much less than that because I think it's super duper cool. Let me put some of these away. I'm going to put these tourmaline away. These are the 2.5 millimeter rounds. $18 only. And then the 3.5 millimeter tourmaline rounds, $18 only. Come on. Ah! Mercury retrograde this season. Yep. I feel like I'm feeling it this time. All right. We still have one strand of the crystals left. Thank you for whoever got the first one. We've got this strand of freshwater pearls. And then 15 is this beautiful, which I think it's beautiful. It's weird. I know. But I also think it's stunning. It's a lampwork glass pendant. It's got, I think it's boro. I think it's a borosilicate because it's got that kind of whatever they put in the boro glass, that color. I don't know what it is. I can't say. I'm not a glass expert, but it's just this kind of frilly, icy glass-like or ice-like glass pendant, which this is the kind of stuff I love. I love this stuff. I love the kind of weirder kind of thing. So, if you do too, you might like this. It's got a nice bail up there like that. And, I mean, it's just so cool. And size-wise, at the widest, it is 32 by 53.5, and the whole size through there is about 3.5 millimeters. BCL 15. It's not for everybody. It's for people like me who like the weird stuff. We'll see if anybody is out there like me today. All right, BCL 16 is another glass, but this is a glass bead strand, and it's this beautiful green and pink with the, it's a green glass. Let me show you. The glass is a green glass as well. Well, it's a green and it's a petrotourmaline colored glass. This really reminds me of tourmaline. So it's got like the watermelon tourmaline, and then around it, it's got like the petrotourmaline kind of glass. This is like a tourmaline in glass, is what I pretty much consider this. And these are super cool, and they're about 14 millimeters by about 16 millimeters. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beads for $6. Just a little over $1 a bead. Glass beads, beautiful. All right, I'm going to put the, let's see, where's my bag? There it is. I'm going to put the crystal away, BCL 13. Thank you so much. Still one of them left at $18 if you want one of that vintage crystal strands. BCL 14 I'm going to put away, the freshwater pearls. $14 only. And I'm going to take a drink because I'm losing my voice. Okay. Let's move these over. All right. We have some vintage Chinese ceramic. For those of you who like the Chinese ceramic, I'm going to do these at $1 a pair. I think. Is it $1 a pair? Yes. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pairs only. This is vintage Chinese ceramic. We at one point purchased a whole cache of vintage Chinese ceramic, and we are slowly working our way through all of it. These are, oh, that one, oh, it's just a little bit of glaze missing. It's fine. That one is definitely chipped. That one I don't like. So we have 7 pair. Yeah. Let's mark that down to 7 pairs, because that pair both has a little bit of chipping on it. I don't like that. Vintage Chinese ceramic. They are hand glazed, hand painted, glazed. And these are really cool. They are about 17 millimeters by 27 and a half. And this is just a cool design. I think this would look really good if you do bone and wood. Right? It's just kind of, I don't know. It's almost like a tribal design or something. It's really cool. And you get the pair of them for only $1. And there are 7 pairs available. And we're going to do another one, BCL 18 at $1 a pair. And I think I have 15 pairs of these available. These papers I found are longer than our papers that we make nowadays. It's throwing me off a little bit here. All right. These are vintage Chinese ceramic beads. $1 a pair. This gorgeous deep kind of lapis blue with the carnelian orange and the citrine orange colors. There's 3 different stones that you could easily pair with these. 11.5 by 28 millimeters approximately, $1 a pair. Thank you so much. We sold 1 of the 17 so far, so 6 pairs of those available still. All right, next up, I found another one of these lots of these electroplated beads, and we'll do the whole lot of these. These I think are 8 millimeter for $4. $4 for the whole lot. Whoa! Where'd you go? There you are. All right. $4 for the whole lot. BCL 19. And then BCL 20. Okay, I know I had another one. Where did you just go? There you are. Oh, we just sold 3 more of the 17. So we have 3 of them left only. We've sold 4 of them so far. And then BCL 20 is going to be these nice neutral color rounds. And they're like, I don't know if they're a glass. I don't know if they're actually, like, these are electroplated because that's how I think they get that coating. These ones, I don't know. They've got like, they're sandblasted and then electroplated. I don't know what they do to them. But anyway, those are available. If you like those, you get the whole lot of those for $4. We sold a few lots of these before and they sold out. These are the last 2 I think that I've been able to find. All right. Okay. Any questions so far? Anybody got any questions? How are y'all doing out there? I see we've got like 19 or 20 people watching right now. So I know there are some of you out there. How's it going? Anybody new join in that hasn't said hi yet? Feel free to say hi. Hang out with me a little bit. BCL, where am I at? 21. I feel like I'm doing all the talking, and it's always nice when people help. We had a lot of talking at the beginning of the show, and that was nice because people were chiming in, and I could comment on that. It's always easier instead of just, because then it gets kind of boring. I feel like if I'm just talking about just the products all the time. I mean, I know that's what we're here for, but oh, that's a shame. I got it. Oh, so I was going to show you this one, but I just saw, I felt it, it's cracked. So, goodbye. So sad. That's a really nice piece with that, look at that silver foil in there. Gold foil and silver foil in that piece. Oh, wow. Never mind. We'll do something else for 20. one. I hate when that happens. We've just sold 19 and we've sold 20. Thank you so much. BCL 15, I'm going to put away. And I'm going to put away 19 and 20 since they have sold. And I don't like them balancing here on the edge. Thank you for taking those off of the mat, because I was getting a little bit nervous about those hanging out on the edge with my the way about me, my clumsy ways. What'd y'all have for dinner tonight? I talked about my dinner. I don't think anyone else talked about their dinner. How do we miss that? And the only reason I'm saying that is because my dinner is in my head, and I am kind of getting hungry for it again. I'm very excited to eat it. I made spaghetti with elbow noodles, which I don't usually use very often, but spaghetti with elbow noodles, and I used a tomato basil sauce and also a chunky vegetable sauce, and then I put sugar. Do you put sugar in your pasta sauce? Who are the sweet pasta sauce eaters and who are not out there? I like a sweet pasta sauce. I know to some that's like blasphemy, but I can't help it. I like a sweet pasta sauce. All right. We have some seed beads again tonight. I have 6 O's in Czech Purple Iris. Czech Purple Iris, long tubes, big tubes. These are 6O Czech glass seed beads. These are modern, these are not vintage. Czech Purple Iris, $2.75 only per tube, 5 tubes available. Norma says, I'm an absolutely no sugar in the tomato sauce person. See, I didn't even know I liked it until I was I don't think my mom used sugar in tomato sauce. She may have put a little bit, but it was never enough to notice. And then I stayed with my aunt one time, and I was watching her make spaghetti, and she put the sugar. Well, I was helping her actually. She was teaching me how she did it, and I was helping her make spaghetti, and she put sugar in there, and I was like, "What are you doing? Why?" It just didn't make sense to me. And then I tasted it, and I have loved sugar in my tomato sauce ever since. Vicky says, when I was younger, I liked a sweeter sauce. Not anymore. Amanda says, I put a carrot in while cooking. A carrot? Does that make it sweet? I've never heard of putting a carrot in. I mean, I put carrots in my spaghetti, usually. Usually I cut up a carrot, saute it, and add it to the spaghetti as a vegetable, but not in the sauce. I've never heard of that. BCL22, 6O seed beads again, Czech ruby. Beautiful color on these. BCL22, $3 a tube. These are the big tubes of 6Os. 4 of them available. Susan says, I think the sugar cuts the acidity down in red sauce. I do too. That's one of the reasons that I think I like it. And as I'm getting older, I like it more. And I think it's because it cuts out the acidity a little bit and doesn't feel like it's going to like rip apart my guts when I eat it. Even though I thankfully don't have too much of a problem. Andrew does, but I don't know how much it helps. Mint is not noticeably sweet. You take it out at the end and it helps keep the acid down. Huh, that's interesting. Did not know that. We've sold 2 of the 4 22s. Thank you so much. BCL20. Whoops, 20. Whoa, that's not a number. BCL23. Let me put BCL16 away since it's just hanging out here. Nobody wants you. Go home. That's that one. The tourmaline glass. One strand available, $6 only. Let's see. Norma says there are pizza places whose pizza I don't eat because the sauce has sugar, and I don't buy jarred sauce because they all seem to have sugar. I can't tell. I buy jarred sauce and I can't tell that it has sugar in it. I add sugar to the jarred sauce, so obviously I like it sweet. And there is a place here in town, Joey O's, and they are known for their sweet sauce pizza. That's what they're known for. I think they're the only place in town that really does sweet sauce, and I love it. Very rarely do I find sweet sauce on a pizza, and so, although we don't buy their pizza that often, I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't think Andrew likes it too sweet, even though he likes a lot of sweet stuff. $1 a pair. There's still 3 of these pairs available if you're interested in those. BCL 17. And BCL 18 are these, if anybody's interested in those. Don't think we sold any of those, so those are $1 a pair as well. All right, so we've got 21 over here. We've got 22 over here. Vicky says, I put a tiny pinch of baking soda to reduce the acidity. That's interesting too. I guess, yeah, you could, right? that would work. Let's see. These are $3 as well, and I have 5 of them. BCL 23. 60 seed beads. This time in, what do they call this? Huh. Oh. Oh. These are Czech Crystal Glow in the Dark. Glow in the Dark 60 seed beads. Let me charge them up here. They glow under a black light too, obviously. And do they glow in the dark? Or do they just glow in a black light? They definitely glow under a black light. Oh no, they definitely glow in the dark too. You see them glowing, everybody? They definitely glow in the dark too. So those are glow in the dark seed beads, Czech glass, BCL 23. I've got 5 of those available. 6 O's. 6 O's. We've sold 21. We've sold another 22. I've got 1 of those left only, and we've sold a 23. Thank you so much. BCL 24. Oh, we've sold 1 of the crystal strands from before. The last 13 has sold out. Thank you, thank you. We've sold another 23. Oh, we've sold, wait, 3, 4. We've sold all but 1 of the 23. We've got 123 left. 123 left. We have, these are $2.75. Move these over a little bit. You still see the numbers? There we go. Got 1 more. 24. I think I got 2 more actually. These are Czech Light Amethyst Silver Lined 6O seed beads. And did I put the number? I do. I have 4 of these available. Czech Light Amethyst Silver Lined seed beads 6O. 4 tubes available at $2.75 each. What'd y'all have for dinner tonight? We talked about our pasta sauce. What'd y'all have for dinner? I don't think anyone shared with me still about what they had for dinner. Usually that's like the first thing we talk about. Gets the night started, right? I just lost my bag. There they are. So I lost my bag. I'm going to put these away. These are the Purple Iris 21s. We still have, I believe, 4 of these available. 4 of these ones available. Norma had a BLT and fruit. That's nice. I have been craving fruit. I forgot to buy fruit again today. The last 2 days I've been out, I've been spoiling myself a little bit with fruit. We sold the last 23. Thank you so much. And we just sold a 24. Still have 3 24s left. Let me put the 23 away so everybody knows they're gone now. Let me make sure they're gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 23s are gone. Thank you, everybody. And I'm going to put 22 away. That's the red. Beautiful red. That was 22. We still have just one of those left. Just the one. 24 is the new one, so I'm going to leave that up for now. And I've got one more bunch. Ooh, I've got a lot of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I hope you like these because I've got 9 of them. Probably nobody likes them. That's why I've got 9 of them. Oh well. Oh well. We put them at the lower price, $2.75. 9 tubes available. Amanda had DIY pizzas. Date night Thursday, says Melinda, at Captain D's Fish and Shrimp. Captain D's. I don't know that. Fish and shrimp. We don't have that around here. But fish and shrimp. I love fish and shrimp. I don't eat it anymore because I'm a vegetarian. But shrimp, I never tried shrimp until I was much older in my life. These are Czech Light Amethyst AB. And my mom always swore she hated shrimp, but I don't know that she ever actually had it. So my whole life I grew up, because I grew up very close to my mom. And in a lot of ways, whatever my mom liked, I liked. And whatever she didn't like, I didn't like. You know, I think that's typical with a kid that grows up close to one parent. They take on the likes of that parent. Even though we've never tried shrimp, I just said I hated shrimp. And then I tried shrimp. And oh, did I go shrimp crazy. I love shrimp. Shrimp cocktail, fried shrimp, just any kind of I love shrimp. But I don't need it anymore. So these are the Czech Light Amethyst 60 AB whole seed bead tube, $2.75. 9 of these tubes available. Somebody take some of them off my hands. BCL25. Diane had chicken breast stuffed with brie and cranberry, homemade potato salad, and lettuce salad with sun-dried tomato ranch dressing. I want to eat at your house, Diane. I don't eat chicken breast anymore, but that sounds amazing. Brie and cranberry. I love potato salad. Oh, do I love potato salad. The last few nights, I think one of the reasons that the spaghetti tasted so good to me tonight is because I think for the last 3 to 4 nights, I've been eating baked potatoes, and I'm not complaining because I love my baked potatoes. Sour cream, salsa, cheese, butter, and I was happy to do it. But they're easy to make, and they don't take a lot of effort. So I was doing that. And then I switched it up to spaghetti today, and it was a big switch up after all of that, um, you know, eating kind of the same thing night after night. And so, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 pairs of these available, $1 per pair. And so I think that's one of the reasons. So now that's why I'm asking people about food again. Kind of, I don't think I've been asking you all about food much because I've been eating potatoes. But now I'm like, ooh, what sounds good? I've had enough potatoes, but I would take some homemade potato salad for sure. Vicky says, I love glow-in-the-dark beads. Me too. Melinda says, oh, Diane, that's the perfect menu, right? She says, I love all shellfish. Me too, Melinda. There wasn't a shellfish that I didn't eat when I was not a vegetarian. And I did give up fish as a vegetarian, so I'm not even like a pescatarian. Oops. BCL 26, $1. That's $1 per pair. That's a little bit hard to read. Maybe that'll make it easier. $1 a pair, 4 pairs available. This is the vintage Chinese ceramic. Really pretty hand-painted flowers with like the gold glaze around them. It's so pretty. So you get a pair of those. These beads are approximately 19 by 28. Sandra says, my mom didn't like shrimp, however, I love it. I think my mom, now that she's actually tried shrimp, now does like it, if I'm not mistaken. I believe. Oh, somebody tried to jump in on some 23s, but that's already gone, I believe. Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, the 23s are all gone. Sorry. Let's see. Let me find the right bag for these ones. That's this bag. BCL 24. That's that one again. The light amethyst silver lined 6.0 check glass seed beads. Only $2.75 for the tube. What happened to... What am I doing? Oh, that's right. Put them in the wrong order. Don't set them up in the wrong order. All right. I'm going to put 25 away. We're done with seed beads now, right? Put those away. I'm just taking up a lot of room. I feel like we sold 1 pair of the 26s. We still have 3 pairs available of those if you're interested. BCL 27. Let's see. Oh, I sold 2 more of the 26s, so I have just 1 pair of the 26s left. And as you can see, they are not exact. They're not going to be exact pairs. They're not made exact. These are vintage Chinese ceramic beads, so they won't always be perfect. I have this beautiful strand of onyx. This is a vintage onyx strand. Faceted ovals, coming in around 8 by 10.5. And I'm going to give that a low price of, we had it at 16 last time, which I think is already low. I'm going to just drop it down to 14 for y'all. It's a good night, having a good time. Drop that down low, $14. Let me make sure it is a, whoa. That is a 15-inch strand. 15-inch strand. BCL 27. Yeah, I found that I loved most shellfish, but I really, Andrew was up there. He was even talking about it. Like, we understand, like, you eat what you want to eat, right? That's fine. But like lobster now, we can't eat because we've seen how a lot of people cook it and it's not great. But I used to love lobster too. Used to love, love, love it. 4, 8, 12, 16. I've got 16 of these available. And we sell these for $1 each. This is vintage Chinese ceramic. These are $1 each. And these have these little snake-like snakes on them. Sometimes they're just like weird graphic things. Like I don't know what that is, but it's a snake and the snake head, and then it's got that on it, whatever that is on each one. But they're all hand painted, hand done, vintage Chinese ceramic. These I'm gonna put one up because they're $1 each, and they're super cool, and they're 16 millimeters. If you like whimsical things, there's nothing like these. They're so fun. $1 each, BCL 28. And let's see, I have 4 of these. And these are $1 each. BCL 29. And these have these they look like walking, talking fish, like they're having a conversation, but they have like bird faces, but fish bodies. They're just so fun. I don't know what this says. If anybody can read that and tell me, please feel free to do so. But you just imagine these two having a conversation together, and they're so fun. And these beads are 14 and a half approximately by 24. Susan says, as a kid, we had shrimp during Lent. However, as an adult, I developed a seafood allergy, and I'm a vegetarian now, so no shrimp for me. Yeah, it's weird how we can develop allergies to things like that, right? So bizarre. We sold 3 of 28. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. So that means, what, 13? 13 of those still available. Okay, do I have, I got one more thing of vintage Chinese ceramic, I think. Oh, I've got 2. Let's do both of these. Okay. These are $1 each, and I've got 10 of them. These remind me of little like tambourine drums or something. Like they're just fun little drum-shaped beads. Really pretty colors. In vintage Chinese ceramic. These are about 18 and a half by 14 and a half. And I've got 10 of those. And then I'm going to do these for $1 each. BCL 31. And I've got 4 of these available. Are these? And these have like a crackle glaze on them, which I love a good crackle glaze. I don't know about you, but I think it adds to it. And these are pretty big. These are, but they're not heavy, which is nice. So this is 17 and a half by 28. And the hole size on these is about 3.2 millimeters. So nice big hole size. Some of these have smaller holes. This one has a nice big hole size. And there's only 4 of those available. BCL 31. All right, let me start putting some of these away. making room. This, I have one pair left of these, BCL 26, if anybody's interested. One pair of those left for $1. BCL 27, I have one strand of the onyx for only $14. Then I'll move 28, 29, 30, and 31 over. And BCL 32. Let's end the night with some more gemstones. How about it? Let's see, we had these at 36. I'm going to drop them down to how many do I have? How many do I have? I've got 2 left. I'm going to drop it down to 30. That's the lowest price we've ever done on these. These are labradorite cubes. They are labradorite faceted cubes. And they are so flashy. Flashy, flash. Kimberly says, oh, wow, you're still on. We'll definitely watch the replay. But hi, everyone. Hi, Kimberly. Over at My Beaded Bliss. Thank you for joining us. And these are the other strand. One of these strands is a little bit larger than the other. I'll give you the size. If you want to pick the one you want, you can. This one's a little bit larger. These are about 5.5 millimeters. These are about 5. There's one in there that's like bigger, and I was like, what is going on? Yeah, these are about 5, and these are about 5.5. It's not a big difference, but it's visual. You can see the difference. And so that's BCL 32, $30 each, down from 36. 2 strands available. Get that out of the way. Get out of the way. Oh, let me give you the size on these. They're 8-inch strands. 8-inch strands on those. All right. And then BCL 33. We have, oh, these are so nice. I forgot about these. Okay. We had these at 32. I'm bringing them down to 26 for you all. 3 of them available. Let's see here. We sold the smaller strand of 32. So we have the larger strand available if anybody's interested in it. Thank you so much. This is tourmalinated green quartz smooth rondelles, and they are magnificent. They are not prehnite. They're tourmalinated green quartz. And you can tell they don't have the prehnite color. But look at the tourmalination in there. Tourmalinated green quartz. Smooth rondelles. I totally forgot we even had these. I love them. So nice. And these are about 5.5 millimeters. Anna says, I have one of those tourmalinated strands. They are beautiful, aren't they? They are just stunning. They have, I can't even talk. They have so much. I'm looking at them so hard. They have so much of the tourmalination in them. Like you're not gonna. I don't have to like show you like the one. Like, oh look, that one. There's the tourmalination in it. It's there. It's like in every one. So these are. Um, let me see how long these are. How long are you? How long are you? These are 14-inch strands, and they are only $26 a strand. That's the lowest price we've ever done. $26 a strand, 3 strands available, smooth rondelles. All right, let me put these away so we make room for the rest of the gemstones. That's BCL 31, BCL 30, if I can find the bag. Where'd you go? There you are. 30 are those. $1 each. 29 are these talking fish. Surprisingly, nobody wants the talking fish. What? That's just something I'd have to have just to have it. Fish having a conversation. And then $28 each. Thank you so much. We've sold one of the 33s, the tourmalinated green quartz. We have 2 of them available. So one of these are still available. That's the larger strand. So the shorty strand is sold. Let me put that away. So that's not teasing anyone over there. Where's my bag? Oh, I'm losing track of things. There it is. And so this strand is still available of the not tourmaline, labradorite faceted cubes at $30. And then the green tourmalinated quartz, $26 a strand. We've got 2 strands of those available. BCL 34. Do you love moonstone? How much do you love moonstone? How much do you love a good deal on moonstone? We had these at 60. I'm going to bring it down to, I have 1 left. I'm going to bring it down to 48. Lowest price ever. This is one that comes done up on the cord like this. It has a sliding knot, and you can adjust it like that if you want to, and wear it like that if you want to. Otherwise, you can take it apart and, just use it how you want. But this is a gray moonstone. Really nice cat's eye in that. Nice big gray moonstone beads, and they have lots of light through them. Like, these are not totally opaque gray. Like, a lot of times gray moonstone is very opaque, but this has so much of that cat's eye flash in it. And so these are these little smooth rondelles in gray moonstone. Pretty high, nice quality stones, right? Like, you don't often see gray moonstone having that much flash anymore. Not at this price point. Not at this price point. Oh, we just sold another 33. Thank you so much. This is the only strand of this gray moonstone that we've got. I believe they're slightly graduated too. So they start at around 7.7 millimeters. And I think the biggest on here gets up to about 9.5. 9.7. Yeah, so almost about 10. And overall, this entire strand is a 16-inch strand, full-size strand, BCL 34. Anybody want the last 33? Oh, we just sold all 4 of the 31s. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We have 133 left, 132 left, 134 left. What do I want to show you next? Oh, here's one you don't see very often. Okay. Wow. What kind of price can I do on these? We had them at 15. I will do them at 12. This is nice. This is white topaz. White topaz. I've got 5 strands available at $12 each. And these are micro-faceted white topaz. Let me get them untangled from themselves here a little bit. Micro-faceted white topaz. Look at that flash. White topaz. Not a quartz. It's a topaz. So pretty. Look at that loveliness. And sorry, I'm just looking at, they flash so hard. They're about 2 millimeter. 1.8, 1.8, 1.8, 1.8. So they're 1.8 millimeter. Every strand I tried was 1.8. It did not vary. 1.8 millimeters. Only $18 a strand. 5 strands available. Melinda says beautiful. Aren't they beautiful? You don't see white topaz very often. We were very happy to get those because we knew that they were going to be able to bring something different. I'm going to put 32 away. It is still available, the larger size of 32. The smaller has sold. And I'm going to put the tourmalinated green quartz away. We have 1 strand of that still remaining, I believe. Yes, 1 strand of it left. It might be mine. If it doesn't sell tomorrow with the rewatches, it might be mine because I'm kind of loving it. And it's not something we see very often. Not in that quality. Sometimes I take strands for myself, but usually only after I offer them to all of you a few times. Okay. BCL 36. Oh, I wanted to show you these too. I don't know if anybody's going to want these, but let's give it a try. These were $75 each. I'm going to take them down to, let me see how many I've got. Let me see how many I've got left. Come on. My bags keep flying all over. I have 3. I have 3 of these. Okay. I'm going to do them for $55 a strand. The best price we've ever done before is $60. I'm going to give you a little bit of a discount from that. Let's see. Oh, we just sold 3 of the 35s, so I have 2 of them left. Thank you, thank you. These are beautiful labradorite faceted Heishies. Gorgeous, high quality stones. Like a lot of that on there, those are nearly transparent, very translucent stones with high flash. Faceted Heishies. These strands are each, well, there's a little bit over 16 inches on that one. And the beads are 6 millimeter. 6 millimeters. That is one, well, 3. Those are 3 gorgeous strands. Sandra says, "You're killing me tonight." I know, right? I nearly fell over when I found this box. Look at those. I was like, why are we running out of our high-end gemstone? I was like, I thought we had so many. I'm like, I didn't think I put all of them in the online store, and then I found them. Cleaning. That's my favorite stone. I collect them, says Melinda. Right? And I'm giving y'all the very best price we possibly can on those. Very best price on those. Never have gone that low ever. $20 off. Never have gone that low on that strand. Like, so there they are. Anyway, I don't have to talk more. They're beautiful. I don't have to talk them up. I'm sitting here trying to talk them up like they need it. They don't need it. If nobody wants them, don't worry. They're not going to be around forever. But that is the best price. I know some of y'all like pink opal, right? So this was a $50 strand. I'm going to put it at 40. Really, it should have been a little bit more. This is really nice. Oh, we sold one of the 36s. Thank you. One of them has sold. Only 2 left. Anybody gonna grab them tonight at that price? 2 left. Pink opal, some people don't like pink opal because they think opal and they think it needs to have all this flash. Pink opal doesn't have the flash, but it's such a soft, pretty, delicate stone, and I love it. I especially love it when it's in a smooth rondelle, graduated. Beautiful, gemmy little nuggets. This is done up on sterling already. Oops, I didn't put out the pay for teasing me with that. It's $40 only. $40. And they say it doesn't have flat, but that one has. Some of these have a little bit of something going on in there. A little bit of cat's eye, something happening. You don't see that a lot in pink opal most of the time. These are really high-end stones turned into these tiny little beads. And you can see some translucency in these, which a lot of times pink opal is pretty opaque. So that means these are higher end stones. And this is 3 millimeters, graduated up to, now there's that biggest one. They always A lot of times they do. They put one really big one. So that's 5.5, but I'm going to go with the next size down because that's more realistic. And the next size down is 5.2. 5.2 millimeters. Only one strand of that. If you like pink opal, that is a nice high-end strand done on sterling. That's at least 16 inches. Let me see. That one is actually 17 inches. It's a 17-inch strand. One available. BCL 37. Melissa, don't make me call my broker. Oh, I do my best to entice you with good things. That's what I do. I don't do, like we always talk about, we don't do the hard sell. We're not hard sell people. I don't think I could hard sell if my life depended on it. And I feel like owning a small business, my life depends on that sometimes. But, we're not those people. We we try and give you the best prices and the best stones we can and the best things we can at those prices. And we hope that that is enough, because when the day or week or months come that is not enough, it's going to be sad times. Sad times. Because we're not hard sell people. We're not good at that. Okay. I've got one strand of labradorite to show you again. This is an exceptional. Exceptional. It deserves all the syllables. And the price matches. Let me put these away. The moonstone have not sold. I'm surprised a little bit at that, but not really. Moonstone, that's not the more flashy moon. We didn't even sell the flashy moonstone, I don't think. So, I don't know. But moonstone is one of those beads. If the right person finds it, it sells really well. But it's not for everybody because it's not the most flashy. Those are nice, but let me just move these little blingy creatures over here. Still got two of those left. And if this wasn't blingy enough for you, how about I show you this strand of labradorite faceted drops. High-end labradorite graduated faceted drops with plenty of flash, beautiful flash. These are more of a green labradorite, but they've got the flash that blue often has, or gray often has. And the stones themselves, I just want to show you the stones themselves. Because they have so much character. I don't want to blind you all, but like the character and the veining in the stones, sometimes the inclusions and that kind of stuff takes away. They keep getting caught up. They want to be with their brother and sister strands. But I think it only adds to these. It's hard to show. I've only got two hands. But I think it really adds to these with the dark and light spots behind. Like, that is amazing. And that strand, that is a 9-inch strand. And let me see. They are graduated kind of from one end to the other. So I'm going to go about 26 by 12 up to about 31 by 15. Right? Beautiful. One strand available. 258 carats if that's your thing. But can you see, like, look at it sitting there. just sitting there, it looks stunning, stunningly beautiful. And I don't even have the best lights in the world. These are just like cheapo lights. You get that out in the daylight. Whew. All right. Sandra says, maybe you shouldn't us the stones themselves. What's that mean? Shouldn't let the stones speak to you? I gotta let the stones speak to you. Let them talk. Let them have a conversation with you and your brokers, apparently. That was funny. Um, let's see here. Where is the bag for these? I'm going to keep them in the right bags. Putting the labradorite away. Can I tease anyone a little bit more? $55 only. BCL 36. Okay, I've got 2 left for tonight. BCL 39. Funny but true, says Sandra, right? Let me see. What do I have in here? Oh, I like these so much. This is this one I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna like these or not. They were 38. I'll bring them down to 32. And this is I want more always. I know the feeling. Believe me, I know the feeling. Um, you know, I'm usually the one that's trying to watch the money and all that, but when we go to a show, who's the one that blows the budget? Me. Andrew's like, Andrew can go to a show and he'll have a certain amount of money to spend and he will get that down to the penny without, like, he's terrible at math and numbers and all that, but he can pick out a tray of beads and he will be right on when he checks out. I don't know how it happens. I don't know, because anything else number wise, he can't do. Um, but the, um, But when he's doing it, but then I'm like, but this is so pretty and this is so nice. And I'm always, always, always the one that blows the budget. Sandra says, how could you use 38 as men's jewelry? This one? How? What do you mean how? Make it a pendant. Pendant on a chain. Done. Men love labradorite too. And especially because these ones have the more dark lines. Like you could pair that, put it on a chain, be done. Put it on some suede. If you attach that to suede, those would be wonderful pendants for guys, especially because a lot of these have this darker color in them. And I think that could be really cool for men. I mean, for anybody, but if you're specifically asking, I know what you mean. Anna says those are beautiful, aren't they? They are. All right, next up, next to last up, garnet. I call these garnet shards. They look like a shard, like it was broken glass, and they took the broken glass pieces and polished them up and made them into shards and pendants or drops. But these are garnets. And these are so, like, the garnet quality on these, look how clear they are. And then they just did this really strange cut. And it is something that we have never seen before or seen since like that. Garnet shards. And they're just super cool. I love them. I love how they reflect the light, like they shine when they hit the light on the edges, but then they've got this beautiful color and these odd shapes, and they look like broken glass, and they're just really cool. And you don't see that very often. I've got one strand of those, $32. They look like grape garnets. Beautiful. They are beautiful. Sandra says, if you wire wrapped it, wouldn't it look too girly? Why? No. You think? Do you think so? Really? I don't think so. Wire wrap it in copper. Wire wrap it in you don't have to wire wrap it in silver or gold, although that's fine, I think. But wire wrap it in a gunmetal. That would be awesome. Wire wrapped in gunmetal with some brown or dark green suede for a necklace. Instead of chain, use suede. Wire wrap it in gunmetal wire, or take your silver and patinate the silver. Use liver of sulfur, make it a dark silver. Do it. Maybe polish it up a little bit after you use the liver of sulfur, and then put it on. I mean, you could still put it on chain. It would look great. The other thing is to look. We're designing now. The other thing is use it as like a charm necklace and put other quote unquote guy things on it and use different charms along it. Lynn said, wire wrap in any metal would be awesome. I have these. Yeah, just go with it. I think these are great for any gender. I think labradorite is one of those stones that pretty much everyone agrees on is a great stone, right? I think. I have never known anyone that looked at labradorite and was like, it's okay. Like, people love labradorite. What's next? What's last is the question, I guess, right? What's last? What should I show you to end the show tonight? How about these? These are nice. I'm going to give you a really good price on these two to end the show tonight. They were 32. I'm going to drop them down to 25. And they are gorgeous. You know I love it because it's my birthstone. Amethyst, faceted rondelles. Really nice quality. Good color. Natural amethyst. Just one of those stones. It's just a nice stone. I can give you a nice price on that. $25 for the strand. This strand is about 6 inches. And these rondelles are about 6 to 6.5 millimeters. And on there are about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, about 28 faceted rondelles on the strand for $25, less than $1 each. I would, normally not sell one of those for less than $1. So that's a really good price for the strand. If those were in a bowl in our store, they would definitely be more than $1 each. So that's it. Last strand tonight, everybody. Thank you all for hanging out with me. I see we got somebody on the 38. Thank you so much. Somebody grabbed it. We appreciate that so much. Thank you all for tuning in. I will be probably doing... I'll be at the store tomorrow. I will probably try to do a live during the day at the store if it's quiet, because tomorrow night I'm going to probably be doing a lot of getting ready for Squonkapalooza in Johnstown. And so I'm probably going to be focused on trying to do that. So we'll see. I don't know when Andrew's coming home either. I don't know if he's leaving tomorrow, if he's leaving Saturday, if he's leaving Sunday. On the calendar, he has it scheduled through Saturday, but I'm thinking he may have included that as a driving day. I don't know. I haven't even talked to him yet today, very much. So we'll see. But I think that the live is going to be probably, I'm going to try around 3 o'clock tomorrow. We'll see how it goes, how things are in the store. If I don't get it tomorrow during the day, I will be doing something in the evening then. But I'm hopeful that I can get something going as a live during the day, so that I have time tomorrow night to use the full night to make things like these little earrings that I'm making for Squonkapalooza. Remember, if you want a Bigfoot, a dragon, or a jackalope earring pair, let me know. I'm selling them, these little charms, at $10 a pair. And if you want them on ear wires, I'll throw them on an ear wire for you, for nothing. I'll just send them out that way. A pair of earrings for $10 if you want. If you just want the charms, they're $5 each. That's a little bit of a discount. I'll be selling them probably for $12 or $14 a pair for the earrings during the show. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what I'm feeling like when I get there, and what everybody else is doing. That's always a thing too, right? You don't want to overprice or underprice yourself, but I'll look around and see what's going on. But anyway, if you want a pair of those, we'll get them for you, and just send me an email about those, and that's it. That's all I got. So thank y'all. Susan says, "Sweet dreams, all sweet dreams to you, Susan." I hope you all have a great, 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 great evening. Um, let's see. Oh wow, I would love a couple pairs of hair. I know they do look like Harry from that. Andrew drew these himself, um, but they remind me of Harry and the Hendersons every time I see them too. So, but yeah, so those are Andrew's own from his own sketchbook. But hey, right? You never know where ideas come from. Um, but yeah, if you want those, send us an email. They are $10 a pair for the charms. Um, and they're about 1.5 inches tall, and that's it. If you what am I saying? That's it. That's all I've got. I'm worn out. I'm gonna go have some more spaghetti after I take care of this, sorting and invoicing and all that good stuff, and we will see you sometime tomorrow. All right, everyone, have a great night. Bye now. Thank you all so much.